Hello. Welcome back to Bangers Only, where we're reviewing every single game of the League of Legends World Championship. We are watching promotion games today, where teams get out 3-0 into the double limb, or not the double limb stage. I wish it was a double limb stage. The knockout stage. We're going to start with a horrible matchup, which is D+ versus LNG. And why is it horrible? Well, one wonders why D+, who has only beaten Fnatic and FlyQuest, might get out 3-0 and a 1 seed. Why, you may ask? Because Swiss is a horrible format with horrible seeding. LNG beat TL. At least they beat BLG. You know, that's a hard one. So maybe they deserve it. Scout popped off on Yone. D+ is big frauds, though. Big fraud energy. This team is garbage.
So very happy to see the good start there.
All right, so immediately starting off the draft. Funny enough, there is
Swiss Razor Cake. That's right. Razor Cake. Okay, so are we banning LeBlanc or Syndra against Showmaker? Interesting that they're banning Nocturne. They don't want to pick Yone. Showmaker has probably played Yone the least out of the Eastern mids that are here. Let me think about that. Maybe Xiaohu as well. But out of the rest of the Korean mids, he's played it the least. And obviously, Cream has played it a lot.
Yeah, wow, they're really going off the recent plays there from LNG right down.
Alongside that Rumble, Yone, and Nocturne banned out by D+.
Interesting the Gnar and Jax are being banned here. Ziggs gets left up. Aiming has been pretty good on that Ziggs. Okay, we're just going to take Renekton. They look like they're setting up potentially for an Ahri or Syndra from Scout with the Vi pick.
DK thinking about a couple of options here. Over also, so
still has been performing.
I guess we're just playing. I mean, this could be, to be fair, this could be Smolder top. Kingen has played Smolder top, so that's not outrageous.
You know, pop the mid lane pick.
Ooh, Gala Kaisa. You love to see it. You love to see a Gala Kaisa game. See it played a lot into Ziggs to snipe him in the back line with ult. Interesting that they're R5ing for Scout here. Wow, really?
Locked in.
Oh, baby.
So I guess they just take the top lane Olaf so that they don't have an ability to really gank him post 6.
To be able to ignore, it looks like a good Olaf angle, and you've got like the 8.
All right, so the Sylas is slowly creeping back into the meta. There are some interesting, like, you want to take, you know, you can take Ziggs ult, you can take Maokai ult here. Suppose you could take Olaf ult if you really wanted to.
Support your movement forward too.
The Sylas, though, locked in for Scout on the opposite side. This is kind of sick, because you look at, oh, well, I got the Alistair, which is just a great ultimate.
This isn't the typical Olaf game. Like, you typically see Olaf into low mobility AD carries, you know, like an Ashe or something like that, who relies on their, you know, they rely on their own CC to kite, so Olaf can just kind of run him down. Seraphine, right?
Oh, yeah. Alistar ultimate is historically the best ulti for Sylas to take. Whenever
that's true. Flowers is right. Sylas taking Alistar ulti is pretty huge.
Yesterday against BLG, they were scrapping for every Void group. They're scrapping for every
the first draft in the quarterfinal.
Might be a little tricky to lane against the Smolder, though. How are my pick'ems doing? I didn't do pick'ems.
Yeah, and honestly, I mean, the reason why it's such a dub for me in this game to not have a lane swap is, like, we're going to get some really brawly lanes. Especially as a jungler, you love to see volatile lanes because you get options for where to go influence. Olaf versus Renekton on top side will be very volatile. They're threatening.
I was taking a vacation. I didn't do pick'ems.
Level 1 stuff here. Both
the stream is so early today, I might go to bed at a responsible hour.
Do not go for it.
Sorry to keep you up.
Oh,
Fire
crash
Element
down.
6.
Hung just gonna get not a whole lot more than that, really. Moan and aiming, still just trying to get back away from this one. Gala and Hung still continuing to push forward, dropping the ignite, forcing aiming to flash back away to the safety of the tier 1 turret.
Aiming's over the wall, but they do not go for it. The ward in the very volatile. They're threatening some very fun.
Flash down. Hung just gonna get not a whole lot more than that, really. Moan and aiming, still just trying to get back.
Aiming actually plays himself here.
Oh, crash down. Hung just
Misses his
a
bomb.
lot more than that, really. Moan and aiming, still just trying to get back away from this one. Gala and Hung
Doesn't
still
walk
continue to
around
push
the
forward, dropping
left
ignite,
side
forcing
earlier.
aiming to flash back away to the
Absolutely
safety of
didn't
the
have to
tier
take
1
that flash right there. Missed his.
He should be able to kind of catch these waves and TP back into lane, but he does want to wait until he at least kind of works up towards something like a tier to
Where can I find the 4-play schedule for October? We haven't released it yet.
get that reset. So trying to force him out early.
The films are, we're doing deep cut scary movies for Halloween. The films are Session 9, Cure, which is a Japanese movie, Gonjiam Haunted Asylum, which is a Korean movie, and Kill List.
To deny that quick reset is working out well for LNG if they can try and get him out.
Yeah, it's
We have not
big here for LNG.
recorded
Take advantage
the
of
first one yet.
Alistar Ziggs lane at level 1. Take
So
away
I
the-
would imagine the schedule will be, I mean, maybe we can get
Flash,
it together
take
by
away any big
a
possibilities
week
there.
from
Now,
today,
like,
but
Gala
probably
and
the
Hung are gonna
20th
have
of
a
October
really,
we'll want to
really
start.
nice
It'll be
free
either
time,
the 13th or the
even though
20th.
their jungler is
Richard's at
pathing
this
away
Dota
from
2
them.
event,
Both
so we haven't been
junglers
able to
are pathing
record.
towards the top side, towards that really volatile matchup that we're all looking forward to, the Olaf Renekton on the top side. So you got to expect the junglers will definitely intervene very early up there. Meanwhile, of course, that Silas getting pushed in early by Showmaker, so nothing to see there. We will, of course, also be keeping track of Showmaker's stacks on this.
As you have to.
You have to, especially because it's a melee matchup, and so you should be getting a lot of stacks very early on the Smolder.
But this is the surprising to me. If you were to tell me that these two players were coming into the day's matchup, I thought these two champions would be flipped. I thought Showmaker would want to avoid the AD carries because it wasn't really his wheelhouse for the
Poor
entire
Rich is probably bored to bits in Bucharest. Well, he's gonna like live there basically for the rest of the year, so
I'm surprised to see Showmaker be the one that's bringing out this motor, but the LCK has had
he's
great
gonna be there for a
showings
while,
on
I
this
think.
motor pick, so not surprised to see it brought out fully.
All right, Kobe, you said you were expecting junglers here in the top
yeah.
side for the volatile matchup. Zika jumping forward, trying to lock up King in here. Flashes in for the ruthless
Oh
Predator.
my, well they're gonna get the Olaf kill before
All
6,
right,
which
Kobe,
is
you
pretty
said you were
huge.
expecting-
Let's take a look
Early
at
by
this.
Showmaker, so nothing to see there. We will, of course, also be keeping
I
track of
mean,
Showmaker's stats.
Somewhere, whereas on
If
this
we're
motor
being
pick,
honest,
so
we
not
don't
surprised to
expect
see
the
it
level
brought out.
3 Vi
All right,
gank
Kobe, you said
here.
you
Like
were
this is a
expecting
super
junglers
early
here in the
gank.
top side for the volatile matchup. Zika jumping forward, trying to lock up King in here.
But
Flashes
very
in for the
nicely played by
ruthless
Zika and
Predator.
Weiwei. Let's see what the knock-on effect of this is though, because this will delay Vi's level 6 pretty significantly.
Anytime we see those volatile melee matchups, and the Olaf pushing in early, of course. So Zika with the flash.
Possible freeze here,
punishes
though.
So nicely there. Weiwei able to get the vault.
So, but they're gonna be able to break it because Lucid's gonna finish this and then play topside Crab, and so he can cover top lane.
It's really important for junglers to recognize wave
WTF
stage, because
two-way?
it's
I know.
just an Olaf
Way,
with the ghost.
way.
So it should be an easy stun setup. It's just nice to see like the versatility here to be able to react to the current wave state, and really nice punish.
Especially because DK had already spotted out with that ward on Raptors where Weiwei was. I think they just thought, oh, he's going for a full clear.
Yeah.
I can crash this wave and get back. But Weiwei kind of
Starting a bit
catching it
early
off guard,
today.
getting that early kill, gonna
Yeah,
have a
earlier
massive
today.
Zika.
Yeah, everybody always highlights like efficiency for junglers and like, oh, you need to full clear, you need to full clear. But that's a lot like solo queue where you can't rely so much on your teammates. And in this case, really, really good diversion there. So we'll see about the other side of the map as well. As you're going to have the cross.
Zika hasn't bought yet. He still has
all the way
TP.
to the bottom to get the bottom scuttle crab as well before fully recalling.
Yeah, and you can see DK ready to crash this wave here into the bottom lane tier 1.
So creep scores in the jungle are even now, but that's just because Maokai's already had a recall and a buy.
Not really anything more, so there's no huge lane
So he starts second clear. He's just going to be ahead in tempo for a little bit.
Matchups that you would expect them to be coming up from.
Yeah, I just want to see how the timing here is going to go for Weiwei, because you're down on this bottom side. You could immediately go for Dragon is Hung. Should you interrupt the reset? Yeah, nice here from Mohan. The Ziggs.
Oh, got the ignite, but
Cancel the reset, but it wasn't fast enough. It got him during that last quarter second. So aiming still manages to get his recall, and now that's Summoner down for Hung.
And I think that was where they could have tried to look for some sort of pressure on towards.
is
pushing
quality
away.
1080? I don't know. The VODs have been kind of bad quality, yeah.
But now that Aiming's back in the lane, he's going to be able to keep
The VODs from LoL Esports. What channel is this? Yeah, LoL Esports VODs and highlights have not been very good quality.
So trying to move up towards an early Void Grubs is going to be really tough for LNG now.
Other thing I'm looking at that's kind of tough for LNG, Scout has already used his teleport, and so always, you know, on Silas you're kind of like trading your health, trying to keep up enough CS and trying to stay in lane, but so much pressure from Showmaker here, just spitting out fireball after fireball. They do force Scout back, and
forced him back without TP too.
Hey, there's no teleport on Scout. I've got the advantage here in mid lane, pushed him in, chunked him out. We should be able to grab this.
Really good timing here. You know, this is possible because Aiming's TP wasn't interrupted, so he's able to get back and then help push by using his recall rather wasn't interrupted, so he's able to get back and TP quickly, get pressure in mid and bot, go take an early Drake.
And that's not going to go down, so Lucid can finish picking this one up, no problem should be.
Weiwei's starting to get a little bit of an advantage for himself though, because he's moved into DK's top side, stealing away the Gromp. I imagine could move over towards the Wolves or just immediately move back over towards the Void Grubs, which is what he's going to do with Silas actually getting that push now that Scout has come back into lane, and Zika doing a good job of controlling.
Maokai probably not going to fight this one. Weiwei hit 6. He's actually ahead of Lucid by half a level now because he was counter jungling on that take, on the Drake take.
Nice early use of the ultimate, get a big chunk onto the Maokai, make sure that DK are not going to have an option because, you know, they did have a really early timing on the first dragon, so
Moham, you don't want to be here, buddy.
Here, especially with, you know, Mohan reset here, and
they swapped top.
But already
swap top too late. This feels pretty bad that they're behind the play now. No Gromp for Maokai to take. He's going to be spinning his wheels for a minute. Oh, he's going to get Crab. Okay. I got 6 off Crab.
This wave should still be picked up by Zika. He's going to be
You pre-watched these games? No, I haven't seen these games.
Coming through from Hong and Weiwei just to make sure he's going to be fine on this, but you're just leaving Gala now to get free time.
All right, LNG's bringing in some backup. Vaultbreaker getting charged. Flash engage comes out from Hung, and they're immediately just trying to chop down that tree. Lucid gets away with 200 HP as Zika tries to keep everybody else.
Pretty sure he didn't have to ult there.
Coming out from Moham, knocks him back into the river.
Oh, well, we got a kill. That's all right.
From the Ziggs, aiming needs one more shot, and Lucid's gonna get the
Lucid got the kill. What? Did the sapling kill him? Oh my god, the sapling burn killed him. That's unlucky.
In the scrap.
LNG tossed everything into the tree, but they couldn't chop it down.
How damage over time on the sapling?
Zika just gets mowed down by Aiming and Moham in the mix.
Yeah, that was really good peel. Turn around. Lucid does not panic as they jump on him. Immediately able to disengage and throw out his Maokai ultimate. And Aiming plus Mohan keeping them at arm's length, allowing them to
DK on fraud alert. They always have been. I hate this team.
Already spicy boys, but very glad that is evened up as well. The only thing we're still a little bit worried about here, Showmaker's been stacking up quite nicely on that Smolder, so
losing out about Gala and put him behind as well.
All right, 12.7 to 13.6 thousand gold, 1K up for an LNG squad that also owns the first 3 Void Grubs. 2 minutes until that second set spawns. And honestly, the second Drake only being slightly mistimed with that means we could have something interesting go down, but most likely probably just a handshake trade on the objectives.
Yeah, I think this is where we're probably going to see a little bit more interaction between Weiwei and Scout, because even if you can just get that ultimate from Weiwei immediately on towards Showmaker, you can burst them out or start to burn some summoner spells. So getting those summoner spells out before a big dragon or a Void Grove fight are going to be really crucial. And when Scout has, again, just been such a strong focal point for this team, trying to get those resources onto him has always boded well for LNG.
Yeah, and then of course Gala they're looking at trying to scale this Kaisa. He has the call, really trying to make sure that he will be able to catch some of the melee brawl.
slightly in terms of the gold. It is a plus 20 farm lead for aiming on the Ziggs. This is a pick that has been banned a ton so far at Worlds 2024 in the main stage.
It's double tier stacking time, and this is just a slow roll for D+.
So when those specific strategies come out, the more general OPs get through. So I'm very curious to see what aiming can accomplish with this pick as we go forward.
And of course, aiming, you know, has been very consistent for them. As we see a 4-person move towards top.
All right, we got the big play, the dive coming in from DK, and Zika's about to drop. He stays alive for an extra second, but it is not long enough. But now the Maokai ulti coming out, stolen away by Scout, but it will not matter. And coming in from DK, and Zika's about to drop.
You know, has been very consistent for them. As we
Good timing from Moham here.
Move towards top.
All right, we got the big play, the dive coming in from DK, and Zika's about to drop. He stays alive for an extra second, but it is
kicking back into the game. Okay, Maokai ult comes out, but doesn't do anything because they have actually no damage in the top side.
Stage left.
And they fully commit to this.
See if they can do something with this Vi ult, though.
We're going to send everybody up to go for the tower dive first, but now
Moham has no ult because he used it on the dive. All right, so they're able to pick up one for Scout there. Kingen actually just TPs back in. Kingen has no ult, though. Also from the dive. Showmaker's kind of useless here. You need to just walk away. You got to give up grubs. It's okay, though. They have Ziggs. They don't need grubs. They have Satchel. You hope me and my family are doing well. We are. Thank you very much. Very nice of you. Does Smolder have the ugliest design in the game between champions that are supposed to be cute? Yes, he looks like a piece of shit.
Gala had just been farming on the bottom side, and they're still able to get their chase down counter kill. They're still able.
If you told me that Smolder's visuals were designed by AI, I would believe you.
Stolen away. How now, Mr. Cow? Way stuck in the pit.
Grubs, can they finish the last one? Oh no! Just been farming on the
wow, they
bottom
just
side,
left him there?
They're still able to get their chase down counter kill. They're still able to
They just left him there? Silas is recalling?
Grubs, can they finish the last one? Oh no,
they will not. Stolen away.
Dude, they literally just left him while Silas was starting to recall.
Stuck in the pit and he ain't getting out. It's the final grub plus a kill of a DK.
I can't believe the cow is the one that steals it in all of that one. Incredible from DK, because I was looking at LNG going, oh, this is such a sick timing window. The reset came through.
Smolder is fine. Leave him alone. Nah, he's ugly.
Can come in. Let's take the fight.
And he has a stupid and weird face.
Each other on the back and they think they've done it, and suddenly DK come back.
Yeah, it was so big. And look at the mini map as this play starts. Gala's on bottom, farming. He's doing damage to the tower, so that will be consistent for this entire time. And LNG, as they get their chase out here, key that Showmaker popped Mohan's ult there. He was able to force it out with his Maokai ult, and then Weiwei says, I'll follow up. Scout had gotten the early ult down on Mohan, and so then Weiwei followed up. They got that one, and because you saw the smite used on that grub, he's not going to have his next smite charge available for the final grub. As you know, stolen away by the cow. Really
Aiming actually just works his way through that whole turret right now, so that'll equalize the goal a little bit.
Collapsing in bottom and top lane both, as LNG grabs the first down to the bottom lane.
But again, D+ can play this game pretty slowly. I think there's really no reason for them to go quickly here.
Sure that they can force that one down as well. As you can see, the second Drake also get taken.
This is an awkward spot now for DK though, because you can rotate Gala up and still have a tower you can threaten on top side. You're in position.
They can actually just reset here, push mid with Ziggs, push out bot, and try and go for Herald potentially.
Position for this upcoming Rift Tower because his TP isn't available. So DK kind of a step behind when it comes towards how they want to operate on the map right now.
Man, we are 15 seconds away from Rift Herald spawning with, what, 500 gold separating the team.
Massively so. And this is, again, I just want to see more scrapping. Like, this is such a fun compositions on both sides to see exactly how you can try and come away with this. But LNG, a bit late in the resets, Weiwei only now starting to come out of base, means DK get to set up nicely in river, and the push in mid is fairly simple with aiming opening up there.
Okay. Let's see if we get a whole lot of trading back and forth here with just some of the poke tools being used. Gala firing off the Void Seeker, but bouncing bomb's not going to connect in response.
Aiming is very aggressive with his satchels compared to other Ziggs players. Like, if you look at that, most other Ziggs players would not be as aggressive with their satchel right there.
Going the opposite direction down here in the bottom lane, though. 1v1.
I missed his axe.
Our ulting top laners. Zika trying to wait for those cooldowns to come back. He doesn't want to stand there and
There's
fight
no mana.
the Olaf auto attack v auto attack. Zika looking to chase him down now. A little bit
He's
more
dead.
is all he needs. Run, King, and run! Zika with the rounds to come back for Kingen, but all of the other gold leads going the opposite direction down here in the bottom lane, though. 1v1 between
Nice sidestep
our
from
ulting
Zika.
top laners. Zika trying to wait for those cooldowns to come back. He doesn't want to stand there and fight the Olaf auto attack going the opposite direction.
Dude, starting this with such committing to the all-in when he has no mana is very bold.
Yes, it's a bit of a gold lead for Kingen, but all of the other gold leads going the opposite direction down here in the bottom lane, though. 1v1 between our ulting top laners. Zika trying to wait for those cooldowns to come back. He doesn't want to stand there and fight the Olaf auto attack v auto attack. Zika looking to chase him down now. A little bit more is all he needs. Run, King, and run! Zika with the solo kill.
Zika played that so well. He jumped into the minions, got the last auto attack for his Fury.
Yamato Cannon, wow, thank you for the raid. That was very generous, a raid of you, Yamato Cannon.
Now gets the push in on bot. Could even look for a quick reset.
What were you doing still up?
Teleport back in as it's about to come off cooldown. Oh, where's Scout off to?
Okay, oh wait, Gala, very low on HP, down to 150, having to try to get away from this with a killer instinct. Last bouncing bomb ain't gonna hit him. The AD carry from LNG staying alive as Moham has already used the ultimate, the unbreakable will no longer available.
King and Stride Breakers, King and FTP.
Another stolen Maokai ulti, they go in, and LNG finds themselves another kill. They get everybody HP down to 150, having to try to get away.
So here's the thing, guys. That is actually a very significant kill. I'm really surprised that Kingen decided to all in there when he had no mana, and now they're going to lose a tier 2, get local gold over to Zika. This is going to balloon him to like 800 or 900 ahead, and they actually just can't fight right now. Despite the fact that aiming actually did chunk them out, and this should have been a Herald, and they could have actually saved their tier 2. This is a pretty big blunder for D+. And honestly, right now, the other thing LNG is playing extremely well around. They're playing extremely well around Alistar ult cooldown because they tried to dive that turret. And they disrespected the re-engage. So this is the second time they've actually played around Moham's ult being down. But that's an overcommitment there from D+. King also just runs bot, so they don't make a TP play. They can probably kill us with Satchel, though. We'll see. Nope, can't even walk up. Never mind. I think D+ is really just overplaying their hand right now based on the fact that they should just outscale. So there's no reason to play this aggressively. Oh, you're watching Yamato was watching Champions Queue. I see. Very good, very good.
Really fancy stuff here, and getting that kill back when I thought it was Gala who's gonna die.
And guess what? We're gonna see
anything interesting going on in Champions Queue today?
Soon. He has been farming up a storm, and is very close to the Rage Blade. The static shiv obviously helps a lot for holding mid lane.
To me, it's just DK overcommitting or being uncoordinated, making the play while Olaf is dead. Well, they started this play and they started this sequence chunking out Gala before that 1v1 happens. Like, Kingen just needs to know that he has to hold on. And now he just gave up a kill. He gave up the local gold on the tier 2. So he gave up way too much, and they couldn't take Herald. And that Herald obviously could have been used to accelerate this game pretty significantly. Probably don't use it mid, but you could definitely use it bot here. So I don't know. I feel like this is pretty questionable from D+. But they have no macro. I mean, this team is garbage. So I hate this team. They're literally behind in every single lane. They've given Scout a couple of kills to get him back in this game after having what is obviously a rough laning phase versus a ranged smolder.
Making things a little difficult for LNG, despite the gold lead that they have.
Kadriel loves this team. I don't know why. Dude, he loves the Shy and Weibo. All right, he loves the fucking Clown Fiesta Raccoon Garbage Feast teams. I don't. We like macro precision. Beautiful map play. That's what we enjoy here on Bangers Only. Not the game of throws.
On the item spikes here might be amazing. Regardless, though, is going to be Rift Herald picked up, and Kingen.
Ooh, yeah, Kingen trying to get himself away. Zika's going to stop the back. Kingen knows that the only way this works out okay
is going to be Rift-Trailed.
Kingen is having a game, guys.
Ooh, yeah.
I just don't understand the purpose of this Olaf pick.
Kingen knows that the only way this works out okay is if he takes
This has been going so badly for him. Way had a nice early gank, but I don't know. Fish stall. Thank you. Salam, indeed. Salam, my friend. Salam, Effendi.
Just think of the beginning of the game, the setup on the gank.
Thank you for your tier 1 sub.
Then his team arrives here. It has just been...
Surely DK lands a best of 3 that's freer than they are? I mean, probably. The thing is D Plus has another 2 chances at best of 3s, so they could easily end up with some like Western team, or I mean, they could be Weibo, right? Surely.
Means he's totally unafraid of any sort of a counterattack. Hung now just also continuing to try to chase. His scout got knocked back over the wall. He misses the abscond ducked, but Void.
Dude, Moham and Kingen are having games, guys.
Just think of the beginning of the game, the setup on the gank. Then he also
he's trying to cover here.
Arrives here. It has just been all Zika all day, and now
we got some more problems.
But Lucid doesn't feel like pressing R, so Moham must die.
Means he's totally unafraid of any sort of a counterattack. Hung now just also continuing to try to chase. His scout got knocked back over the wall.
Also got the solo kill.
There's also, I don't think there's a reason why this ward has to be here. Like, what information is this ward actually giving you that this ward plus having 2 people right here is? Are you trying to take this turret? No. You're playing with Smolder, who is still like scaling, right? 134 stacks, doesn't have a fully stacked tier. Just, you're trying to cover the push up. So Moham does not have to be here. You know, furthermore, this is more or less this is kind of a free play for them because they're already pushed into the bot side. Ziggs is catching this wave. Ziggs actually, he's too far away to ult into this situation to help cover. So that ward, I just don't know what that ward does for you.
Here, it has just been
nothing. Look at that. They saw Zika while Moham died.
We got some more problems,
but there's no possible response. There's no possible response because they have to catch bot wave. Meanwhile, Vi gets another free Drake. Dude, D Plus is actually just hemorrhaging objectives.
He misses the abscond ducked, but Void Seeker from all the way in mid lane. Gal is the one getting the paycheck.
D Plus 2-3 incoming. Dude, I hope so. I hope so. Like, I don't want to watch D Plus in the bracket stage. I would rather see Liquid or G2 there 1 bazillion %.
I got this, it's fine, but it worked out. So great call on the bluff. I mean, there's no way they're
Void Seeker from any sort of a counterattack. Hung now just also continuing to try to chase. His scout got knocked back.
Shout out to Gala. Always a pleasure to watch the Gala Kaisa games.
Void Seeker from
that's right. Give it to Gala.
Getting the paycheck.
Man, Scout is way more brave than I am. Because I was looking like Weiwei's on bot side. There's no way they're ever going to go in. And Scout just bops himself into the middle of 3 members of TK. It's like, I got this, it's fine. But it worked out. So great call on the bluff.
I mean, that's the power, though, of Alistar on the enemy team. As soon as you see Alistar, you just take his ultimate. Okay, I'm Trendemir for the next 8 seconds. Sure, I'm not going to die. 1v3. I think they're going to need 2 more if they want to try to kill him.
Yeah. Now I'm Alistar with damage.
What do you think about BLG versus T1 tomorrow? It's a really unfortunate 1-1 matchup, right? BLG like played shockingly badly, though. It's not like T1 has been great by any means, but I think T1, their floor is with this roster for the last 3 years, every single international tournament they have made top 3 finish minimum. So it is always very difficult to count them out.
It's a pretty good defense available mid lane here.
There are also a lot of things in the meta that are working for them. So I think they could pull off the upset. I mean, BLG, are they going to just like flop out? Probably not.
If those get blown early, it's kind of step 1,
but,
and then step 2 for LNG.
On hasn't been great.
So Showmaker and Aiming right now have been doing very well. Even though they're in the goal.
Knight hasn't been as good as he was in LPL playoffs either.
Hold on now. TP coming in for LNG.
The other thing about BLG, and I'll put this out there for you guys, is that yes, they won LPL, but in the summer split, a lot of their series were full 3-game series in the best of 3s. And they often lost game 1. Like, they were not the cleanest team. They, you know, top esports was much cleaner. In their last 7 or best of 3s in the regular season in summer, they won them all 2-0. You know, coming into playoffs, they were on a 14-game win streak. BLG has been a lot sloppier in best of 3s, which does concern you in BO1s a little bit.
Scout might be a little bit too far forward, seals away the Maokai ulti, which means he doesn't have the tankiness from the Alistar that he would like to have. Scout jumping back into the Baron pit, flashing back over the wall, barely staying alive. Mob roars in. Scout steps to the left. He lives. He walks away for now, but that was audacious from the LNG mid lane.
Side lane control has been really weak though for D+. That you know, honestly, that 1v1 in the bot side and losing that turret has like kind of fucked them from getting pressure on the map and being able to use Ziggs as effectively as they might have liked.
We're doing it again. This time, it's the Crocodile. Moham trying to get away from Hung off to the side. Zika does not want to
great Herald use.
2/3 HP. Gala's also removing the Rift Herald from the tier 2 turret at the same time.
So you don't actually get the tier 2 tower off the charge because of that play. Everyone backs away to respect Zika. So it kind of works out weirdly for LNG in that one. But the other one is DK now need to move down to this bottom side because this 1-4 setup that they've been using with King and on
Do you think T1 is still stronger than D+? Yeah, I do.
Threaten the tier 2 tower has kind of netted this opportunity for LNG to continuously push inside with the stronger 1-3-1 setup.
Showmaker on the Smolder, currently sitting at 167 stacks. That's honestly, gentlemen, not a lot for this point in the game. He's still going to need a couple of more minutes to hit that 225 sweet spot, as now LNG might have themselves another opportunity out of play. They will not be able to catch out that enemy Alistar, but Aiming's in a lot of trouble. Flash for the Ruthless Predator, and Gala's on a kill. Sweet spot, as now LNG might have themselves another opportunity out of play. They will not be able to catch out that enemy Alistar, but Aiming's in a lot of trouble.
Dear Lord, D+ just getting picked off left and right.
As now LNG might have themselves another.
Aiming actually trolling. So you don't really see it here, but he throws out Satchel, I think.
As now LNG might have themselves.
There's a Satchel right there, and that's what triggers Gala to avoid Seeker go in, because he throws his Satchel right here. His minefield is down, and now he's just a sitting duck. This is the downside of the way that Aiming plays Ziggs, by playing with a more offensive style with Satchel. But really, there's just no reason to throw out Satchel there because the rest of your team can't make a pick. When D+ has played Ziggs well, they use setups from the Ziggs with Satchel charge to create picks, right? But he gets hit, but he doesn't. He has to flash that, basically. He has to flash the Void Seeker, because otherwise this happens, right? And then he flashes late, and it's shit. But that's on Aiming. Now he gives up Baron, probably. Oh my gosh, Showmaker, come on, man. What is this? D+ just wasting flashes. He literally TPs in. He ease forward into a brush he has no vision in, and then has to flash out. Also wastes Maokai ult. Also Moham's dead. Dude, fuck this team. I hate this team. Fuck you, DK. You suck. Everything about that sequence was suck. Everything about that sequence was suck. Aiming, throwing out Satchel charge for no reason. Him not flashing the Void Seeker so he dies, and then flashing late. Showmaker TPing in, face checking a brush, and then fucking flashing out. I hate this. I hate everything about this.
And this one you see hitting the Void Seeker, Gala immediately right in there, and
this team is garbage. What is this?
From him, Beam will get this first kill, but then it's really the second one that you're kind of highlighting.
Kobe, flame him. He TPs in and then uses E to face check a brush and then flashes out.
From him, Beam will get this first kill, but then it's really the second one that you're kind of highlighting, and it is that re-engage even under tower. He goes straight for it. Hungzee will get the lockup. And there's no real threat that's going to force them off, because Olaf is top lane pushing out. So LNG are like, whoa, you are stepping up. Even under your tower is a little bit too close to us. Too far forward, man.
Yeah, you can even see like the Alistar ult was stolen again. It was like, we can tank this for days. We're going to be fine going underneath this tower. So DK now very firmly on the back foot with very little control.
Much better game from LNG. You know, I'd rather talk about LNG because they've looked much better than we anticipated. Right? Like, they made their exit from LPL playoffs really quickly. And we didn't know how well they do with Scout coming in because he was obviously kind of, I don't know, he probably wasn't fully paying attention due to his legal situation, but he looks really good.
Very, very difficult for them to pull game number 1 back at least. Thankfully, we are into the best of portion of Swiss stage though, so definitely will have some more opportunities for DK.
But also, I think it kind of just setting up a very strong point for LNG to say, hang on, no, we are a force to be reckoned with at Worlds. Because I think a lot of people coming in were talking about, hey,
thank you so much for the 4-play series, giving the impetus to catch up on some great films.
And then there's that drop down to
You're welcome.
LNG, but they've been looking absolutely spectacular.
And if you guys aren't familiar, you can go. I'll drop it in Twitch chat. The LFN Culture channel. Go check it out, where we do our TV and film reviews. Hooray! Go subscribe.
For those top spots.
I mean, when you're playing like this, you just demand
Also, if you miss me in Doha, we do a show called Nerd Legion, where right now we're in the process of doing every 1980s fantasy movie, so it's pretty fun. Check it out.
Olaf counterpick that countered nothing. So there's not really a whole lot going on
Zika
here.
looks great
Even
this
the
World's
jungle
really
0-1
underrated. I agree,
fight
man.
Weiwei been critical for setting up a lot of these plays as LNG going to take out
Zika is like the Keen of China in terms of his play style. We all know how much I love Keen.
Another 15 seconds. They're going to use it to try to force the play onto the tier 2 turret top, but DK holds the line for now.
Yeah, and the Renekton that you mentioned with the over 2,000 gold lead, by the way, against that counter pick, is hitting inhibitor tower right now. So being unanswered, the Ziggs bomb tries to push him off. The minions were still empowered by the Baron though, so they didn't all die down there either. And the Renekton pressure is going to be relentless while the rest of the team...
Yeah, there's not a whole lot left to Lucid here in the top side jungle. As long as they have the tier 2, it ain't going to matter now. But hold on, Gala and Weiwei are going to keep pushing the issue further forward. Over the wall, the abscond of Duck doesn't catch anybody else, and Scout and Hung got to try to get back away. Zika showing up for the reinforcements, but King and nobody takes Hung out of the match.
Down there
All right, why are we going so deep here?
Going to be relentless while the rest of the team...
Yeah, there's not a whole lot left to Lucid here in the top side jungle. As long as they have the tier 2, it ain't going to matter. Now, but hold on,
nice engage by Moham.
Keep pushing the issue further forward. Over the wall, the abscond of Duck doesn't catch anybody else, and Scout and Hung got to try to get back.
Kind of have to respect the AoE though. Oh my God, Showmaker hit 225 stacks in this fight. He hits it off of that.
Showing up for the reinforcements, but King and nobody takes Hung out of the picture. Zika fighting 1v3 on the front line, but he has to disengage back into the jungle now. Here to the rest of the team. LNG
Get in here, so LNG continue to
It doesn't matter, this game is over.
Continued stacking the smolder.
Absolutely don't have to go after this, by the way. When you get the jungler down, you can just play for tier 2, but whatever, it's fine. LNG happy gaming a bit because they're so far ahead.
Misstep, one face check that you shouldn't have checked is instant lights out.
Oh, hang on, no.
Yeah, never mind. Fight starting off. Weiwei jumping to the back immediately, going after aiming. Who has a flashback over the wall, trying to stay safe as Weiwei's going to get bursted down by Mont. Is instant lights out.
Oh, hang on, no.
Yeah, never mind. Fight starting off. Weiwei jumping to the back immediately, going after aiming. Who has a flashback over the wall, trying to stay safe as Weiwei's going to get bursted down.
That's what I'm talking about with aiming with satchel charge. What he does to Weiwei right there is that he will use his satchel very aggressively to create these picks and to isolate targets for his team. Tried another one right there on Gala, but it wasn't close enough. The throws?
No one on DK. DK standing strong, starting up the Baron, but LNG is still here. Scout looking for the opportunity.
Yeah, they can't do it though, especially because Scout keeps taking Alistar ult. Dear Lord, he's gonna kill them all.
It's that easy. Moham trying to get back away now as well as Zika wants to go in for a pincer attack, but Gala with a beautiful shot takes out the enemy support. Jungle and support on
Solid. Gala just sniping this game.
LNG still in the driver's seat.
He's almost got Rabadons.
A little too hyped on their comeback potential there. They're like, Showmaker hit 250. Oh, we can go. We got some kills. But way too
Scout
much
still
to
at
go over
ult.
towards Baron, and then
There it is, Death Cap.
Playing through Kingen on this Ultinola to tear through LNG, but right as you called it, Kobe, it's Scout going, hang on a second, there's a cow still here, and I have ultimate available. So he just immediately goes, thank you very much, I'll take that. Lucid, you're first to fall. And even watching Zika again, putting pressure on towards aiming means that he
Gala,
doesn't really
though,
have
look
a
how many
position
he
to
hits
try
like
and follow up,
every Void
despite how
Seeker.
low Scout goes off the back of this and
Boom.
guns
Beautiful.
out, Cow's gone, and it's another team fight victory for LNG.
2 Void Seekers in a row from Gala right onto the Alistar. That Alistar was actually more of a help to LNG. Stolen ultimate and then kill him off with a couple of snipes there. Really nicely done from LNG to kind of stabilize what was possibly the first step in a big DK comeback. So I think DK, though, they're still looking at that defense. It is very difficult when you're facing a team like this that has so much dive potential. As you can see, a really good toggle of vision here by the observers, but you're gonna have to expose yourself if you want to keep them off of this Baron, and so they slowly move up, trying to
Much more intense. We're already topside river being totally controlled.
At this pickle, so this is
Okay, I have to give a
actually,
Baron.
we have a lot of
I have no vision, no way into the river.
Earlier, use it to help get this wave shoved up. They still want to pressure so many different points at once. You can see Zika.
Okay, it's taking
LNG's
tier
wave is cleared out
2.
back in mid.
yeah, all you're looking for is LNGs to try to land this poke as Gala now after
Scout,
Still want to pressure.
recall,
Scout using
TP
his
back
TP
in.
efficiencies. If you are playing from the DK side, Scout last couple of hits onto that tier 2 they couldn't grab earlier, so now that one team fight over the tier 3 turret back in the mid lane. Zika continues
tough, but trying to
This is a really nice 1-3-1 by LNG. Look how well synced the waves are. Like, all the waves are basically hitting at the same time. It's incredibly difficult to defend, especially versus Baron buff, so Zika's going to win that one. They basically just take everything. Really nicely done. This is good coordination by LNG.
Down, top lane inhibitor exposed. LNG still doing just fine as DK scramble to try to defend.
and they're teleporting
Beautiful.
Right back in. Gala jumps in with a killer instinct. He wanted to go after Showmaker, but he ain't gonna find him. He's lane inhibitor exposed. LNG still.
So he hits with W.
just fine as
Showmaker
DK
sticks
scrambles
around.
to
Gala
defend.
decides, well, I've got the TP coverage from the Renekton for Peel, so I'm just going to go in right there. Forces arm guard on Showmaker. Excellent play. Their coordination around these CPs is really good. You know, LNG, this is what made them my favorite LPL team last year, was just really good macro play. And they didn't really have it this year, but they've had some good games at Worlds, man.
Getting himself back into the fight. He's trying to stay alive, but it ain't gonna work out. It's too dead on the side of LNG. But Zika, Scout.
All right, so we've had some happy gaming.
Mohan barely stays alive. Getting himself back into the fight. He's trying to stay alive.
Dude, Showmaker, it's actually brilliant. So he broke his arm guard, went back and bought Zonia's. So he actually baits them because he has stasis again, and they don't think he has stasis again. That's funny. Well played by Showmaker.
But Zika, Scout, and Gala are still pushing. The minions are finally going to get cleared away, and DK's looking for a little bit of extra punish, but they ain't going to find anything here just yet.
They didn't look at his items after he went back.
last auto attack from the cannon minion though gets one of the Nexus turrets. Scout, is he finished yet though? Still hovering around, considering since he has that Ziggs ult that he could do some serious damage, but LNG routed, they are pushed back, but every single time they come knocking at this castle, more and more these structures are falling.
and more LNG convincing us of their dominance in game number 1. They still have the Dragon Soul. They've got 2 inhibitors down, so it should be an easy repeat here. With the extra pressure of 2 inhibitors down, that Elder Dragon that's about to spawn, as we will go back to live shortly, is going to be pretty easy for them to set up a dangerous situation for DK. But here is that defense. So you're going over. Weiwei had another good.
He baits them so hard. Look, Hung gets mega baited because he thinks that there isn't a stasis. But there is a stasis because he went back and upgraded his arm guard to Zonia, so it reset the cooldown.
So we'll go back to live and see about the setup for that Elder Dragon. 13 seconds on the
Phase check of
Instantly lose. She is already on the objective. Elder just
Nah, we just get Elder. So the thing is, LNG just gets every objective for free now.
Else away with a crash down to the Magnet Storm. Zika's ready to follow it up. They got the Elder, and they're looking to tear.
Scout's gonna kill everybody. Holy shit. Here he comes. Alistair ult. Let's go.
Scout's got an unbreakable will, and LNG's got
I love Silas that takes no damage and executes people with Elder Drake. Oh, that's it. Well, D+ sucks. That's the takeaway.
DK speechless.
The takeaway is D+ is a trash can. All right. I gotta go to the bathroom. I'll be right back.
All aboard the Korean hype train.
All right. I just had to go to the bathroom, guys. Thank you, Anslan, for your tier 1 Twitch sub. I appreciate you. Will this be on YouTube? It's on YouTube right now. Batdex. It's literally there. Go to my YouTube channel and click the live tab. GG MonteCristo on YouTube. Jesus Christ. Do you guys look before you ask questions? I have 2 young children. Don't you think I'm fed up with that shit? Just look. I'm literally on YouTube right now. Also, there are VODs on Twitch. You're like my 4-year-old, Batdex.
In this first one, man, I love the Silas pick into the Alistar.
Yeah.
I did not love the way the Olaf turned out on the other side. I did not love the Smolder for Showmaker. Felt like we wanted to see him on something with a little bit more personal agency. So I'm curious how the draft is going to adapt now in our second game.
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing little adaptation at least coming into these first few.
Where is Doa?
Bands, still the
He's on Nerd Legion with me on the Elephant Culture channel. That's where he is. Here you go. He's right here. Click this link. Last Free Nation Culture.
Change needs to come through how DK approached the early game, because it felt like they just didn't have any sort of push or ability to skirmish, which is where LNG started to take over.
Yeah, I mean, now they're in a spot where they're double banning Zika on the top side here, having to drop a lot of their draft priority into that, and then still you have to cover Yone. That has just been way too massive here. So no
I really like the alien review on Nerd Legion. Dude, I think Doa just absolutely nailed it with his comment that Alien Romulus was just like a theme park ride where half of it was Alien 1 and half of it was Aliens 2. That was funny. I thought that was very astute.
Like, we've seen Caps go for it, we've seen other teams go for it. This just says Showmaker doesn't want to go towards it.
I mean, we were literally talking about this behind the scenes before the game started today.
Where is Doa right now?
Feels like it should be a perma-ban phase
Need a
1
Crepo
red
duo
side
stream?
in this tournament. And if
I'm down, man.
you don't do
Just
that,
gotta
or if
convince
you're putting
Crepo.
yourself on blue, you're just announcing, we don't play it, we don't want it, It's not the name of the game, but that will be banned out alongside the Renekton and the Rumble that you guys talked about. Jax, Gnar, and Aurora banned out by LNG. First pick of this draft is the...
Okay. So, still no Yone, no Rumble. We're taking the same bans here. D+ picks blue side again. They're taking away the Vi this time, which is Lucid's best champion. They're also taking away the Renekton, right? Ziggs still up. Gall is a great Ziggs player, but he seemed pretty confident playing the Kai'Sa into it, and he maybe is the best Kai'Sa player of all time.
Camille blind and so early.
Camille blind.
I mean, this tournament already is having an explosive start, but locking in.
Pick a powerful jungler with Sejuani into the top side. Okay, we're gonna take Ziggs. I don't know about Ziggs Syndra.
Rumble, Renekton. 4 out of 6 of these.
All right, so Ziggs though, it will be vulnerable to Camille ults on the backside. Okay, so they take Poppy, Poppy support or top, but it's probably not going to be Poppy top because they banned Jax. So we're gonna assume Moham's playing it in bot lane. Yeah, they just want to play the Kai'Sa into this. They take it now, so it's not banned. Okay, they ban Smolder. This is the time where we ban mid ADs, right? Because we know what, I mean, they have to have an AD mid. They have to have an AD mid. But Showmaker, hold on, Showmaker hasn't been playing a lot of AD mids. Outside of Smolder. Corki's not there anymore. He also had a 30% win rate on Corki during summer. Okay, it's Trist. He has, I mean, it looks like a Trist angle, so surely we just ban Trist here, right?
It can kind of work. Tiny button. Here again,
yep.
Even though they beat it in the first game, they're also going to ban out the Tristana and the Nautilus banned out by DK.
This is a good draft from LNG.
Also ban out like a Rel or something here. I mean, it could be a similar situation.
You know, you're not going to ban Rel because Poppy support.
Red side, they have full counter pick for Scout
and
here,
like
so they could
Poppy support's good into Rel support.
Swap Poppy to bot side though, and you say, hey, we're gonna play Poppy into this Rel. She's still fine. The crash then gets interrupted by the steadfast presence, and then you just end up taking.
Have you seen the Penguin yet? No, we talked about doing it on Nerd Legion, me and Doa, but we will see.
Didn't expect though to come through.
We'll see. Well, we won't go until we see the timer run all the way out. Okay. Open. I am fully laying the fault of that at DK. We know how powerful that combo was.
What the fuck are they gonna play mid lane?
Scout play like an absolute madman.
The Annie over here. This is something that we have seen a little bit, but I think just going back towards an Ahri, something that can kind of set up for alongside.
Oh, this is such a disaster.
It does open
oh no, guys! Guys, what are they playing top? Is it Jace? Is it Jace? I don't know, man. If you play a tank top, how do you ever kill anybody? Who kills Rel Sejuani? Like, you would have to accelerate mid so hard with Ahri Vi. I mean, you can always play pick, but I don't know about this one. The Smolder and Trist band really fucked them up. Why? Here's a question for you guys. Why did we take Poppy on B3? Why did we take B3 Poppy? I think they were definitely trying to get Smolder and Trist. And then LNG read them and banned. Why was it necessary to pick Poppy here? Were we really afraid they were going to ban Poppy? Do we need Poppy that? Do we need support Poppy that badly? I don't know about this one, guys. This seems like they fucked up their draft. Now they have no damage.
Really wants to. Silas was traditionally what we saw as an answer into the Ahri, and then even the Orianna too. So I think you've still got multiple.
Poppy's great into Camille. Okay, well then they should play it top.
All right, not gonna feed him another Alistar, most likely. Just put the Poppy bottom, and let's see what do we got into the Camille here. Is it gonna be a lock? That would be a super fun matchup. I always love Camille versus Fiora. I'll wait until it's actually locked.
Like, I understand the Poppy is good into Camille Sedge Rel. It is good. Oh my god, but we're taking Cassante.
That one is ever anything is not Cassante is hovered.
It's so fun though because of the riposte and because.
All right, so what's the fun part about Cassante?
Oh my god, the Galio pick is huge. The Galio pick is low-key insane.
So, you know,
Oh my god, it's so good. Their only damage is AP. How do they ever kill anybody? Like, you can just itemize MR and lock it for Zigzult. Oh my god. How do they kill? How does D plus kill everybody? Anybody? They basically have to play a pick composition, but who do they pick off? Like, the crazy thing about this, okay, so you have Ari Vi. So you can run a pick comp, right? Use follow-up with long range with Zigzult. But who are you picking off? Kaisa or Camille? How do you play pick comps against Camille? She just hook shots away from you or over a wall or some shit. And Kaisa, damn, Kaisa's going to be really hard to lock down. And you literally can't kill anybody else. Ooh, boy. I think the Poppy B3 was a big mistake instead of taking Smolder or Trist.
And really good setup with a Galio here. That counter pick still used very effectively. Galio
this comp just does no damage.
Recent tear with the full damage build. For solo queue,
Galio fucks them up so bad. Look, the Mad Lions Galio was really terrible. But this is a really good Galio pick, I think.
The Storm Surge. We'll see what build Scout goes for here because Galio, of course, did get the extra health ratios, so you still, can go the more defensive routes. But solo queues had some really nice full damage Galios going on, and I like the look.
Man, Camille Galio, such a classic.
What's Monty eating? I am eating Greek yogurt with vanilla protein powder mixed in and figs on top. It is delicious.
That's a Ziggs, that's an Ari, that's magic damage, plus a little bit more magic damage. Galio's gonna fly in there and protect Camille, and it is gonna hurt whoever is locked up in the way.
Yeah, the Ziggs little knockback doesn't work anymore. You need way more to try and deal with this. Because even if you get the Camille out, there's still a Galio coming down too. So this has suddenly become a far more potent composition, and it still does rely heavily though on the Kaisa damage and also then having this Camille get ahead so then she can one-shot someone in the backline, because otherwise
figs are my favorite fruit, guys. Figs are S tier fruit, or Z tier if you're LS.
LNG.
Alrighty, boys, let's do it. Game number 2. DK wins this one. We get to play one more here in this series.
Do you miss casting? Yeah, casting was fun, but I'm done with it. You and Doa were the reason I stayed up late to watch OGN back in the day. Well, you can still watch me and Doa on the LFN Culture channel. There you go. Talking about 1980s fantasy movies, just like you remember.
Really be a threat, really be one of those squads that everybody else is kind of like, hey, we don't really want to draw these guys anymore when you head into quarters.
Yeah, especially with the versatility.
What's your homemade chili recipe? Well, maybe I'll show you on stream someday. With my cooking stream.
Carry picks. The Rumble has looked great for him. He's even got that counter pick Rise in his back pocket at times as well. So, and now Scout, the Tristanas, the Lucians, the Galios, the Silases, it just feels like you never know what LNG are going to bring out. And I think for a team that definitely was talked about as having these specific picks that they kind of relied on to have these big performances like Scout's Lucian, like the Yone, I think it's great to see that versatility being shown on the world stage.
Nerd Legion does a good job taking the energy of old OGN Dead Air filler and making it its own thing. That was the goal, man. Also, Nerd Legion pops off. It goes fucking crazy on TikTok, guys.
DK is doing a little bit of a late invade in the enemy jungle.
Doa and I are just viral on TikTok for pop culture takes now.
Bone plating and not a whole lot more.
Yeah, they're trying to do the little bit of delay and go in.
Okay, we are getting a scrap here. 3v3 at level 1. Zika got to try to get away from that one a little bit faster. Him and Weiwei both down to half HP. Third and Tofo strike knocks the Sejuani on back, but nobody's really that close to death. Critically, you can see the big Raptor going over to Weiwei, but he didn't get the entire camp, aiming there with a 1 CS.
But even getting some there is like a bit of a steal away, whenever we have the lane swaps.
Do you think G2 can do something this tournament? The game against HLE was relatively promising. Look, the thing about that game versus HLE is HLE giga through by diving a turret that they didn't have to dive. tier 2 top. And so G2 is good when playing from behind, but like let's not pretend that that wasn't an HLE throw. G2 was going to get stomped into the dirt in that game.
And DK trying to go for that invade to push him off so that they would have the full topside map for Lucid, but successfully taken away a little bit there by LNG.
Okay. Hung just trying to be a nuisance here in mid lane, but
they also like randomly steal a Baron. They stole that third Baron. If they don't steal that, they lose sooner. Like, I like G2, but let's not pretend that that was some sort of fucking epic win by G2. First off, they still lost despite getting 3 Barons and HLE throwing.
Getting caught up by Hung, so it looks like LNG just trying to dissuade Kingen from being able to TP down and pick up this big wave.
Lucid just going to continue clearing through that enemy jungle here as Amy and Kingen have the wave about to crash into the
surely we don't TP here, right?
Weiwei, Hung, Zika, Gala, everybody's here on LNG. Moham wanting to show up and try to reinforce. He will not be able to close the distance in time, but he is close enough that no
TP in the top side. All right, well, they actually get away with it.
Zika, Gala, everybody's here on LNG. Moham wanting to show
Probably
up
concerned about Kingen hitting level 3 here. Level 3 Cassante, very difficult to dive.
No dive is going to happen. LNG backs it away.
And that's the thing, Moham did his job there. All you needed was for Kingen to get the experience and make it work. He's level 3. Now the engage, though.
Yeah, Moham jumping in there after Weiwei. He is going to get stunned up. Void Seeker fired out, but Kingen wisely intercepting.
Weiwei's also level 2.
Doesn't collide with the Poppy.
Heading into bot.
Chunk there. Easy defense. DK are able to keep Kingen in full experience over here, and Zika, of course, teleporting up to the top side to grab the top side experience in the 1v1.
Which team do I think is going to win Worlds this year? Gen G. Been my favorite since the beginning.
And actually chunked aiming Ziggs out a little bit. Meanwhile, the rest of the red side takeaway here for LNG goes according to plan, even with a bit of chunk of damage onto Weiwei. Didn't really.
Peanut literally said they had false communication regarding Lilia map positioning. Okay. Guys. Hawkshot showed Lilia walking to Baron Pit. And there was a ward. That is bullshit from Peanut. That is bullshit. That is bullshit. They literally saw Lilia coming with Hawkshot. I watched it in my VOD review. That is some hot nonsense.
They have to divert their plan.
Just, guys, just because a pro player says something I don't know how to tell you this, doesn't mean it's true. It doesn't mean it's true. Okay?
At all.
Now, he may not have seen it on Hawkshot. Nobody may have said, hey, Lilia's coming because they saw it on Hawkshot or a ward, but that Lilia was seen.
Zika does still have to be careful, though he's getting good damage on towards aiming. You can see where Lucid is on the map.
They had ample time to react to that situation.
Just above half HP, he should be fine, but at least getting a good answer on towards aiming at the moment. And keep
Here, I'll show you. I'll show you. We don't actually have to question this. I can literally just show you. You tell me. You tell me if you think Peanut was right. Where's the game? That's not the game.
Disappointment.
Where is it? Where is it? Where's the game?
Can just pop off at any given moment. There's so much.
Here it is. Okay. I will show you.
But engage Mickey now looking swirl seed over the wall.
Here it is.
Saves the game. Turn in Doran.
Okay, first off, they see a swirl seed going at them. Granted, that could be from across the map. So what do? They see swirl seed. Hey, look at that Hawkshot. Oh, look, it goes right over Yike's head. There's a ward that sees him over the wall. Oh, look, they see him the whole time. So here's Peanut. Here's Peanut's bullshit meter. Okay. Here's Peanut's bullshit meter. $10 out of 10 spewing bullshit like a geyser out of the top. Ten out of 10, geyser of bullshit.
Keeping himself in check in the lane is going to work out perfectly for him.
And they've got the timer on the respawn of these Raptors. Raptors number 2 here, so they know.
Ooh. On towards aiming at the moment.
Anyway, back to this game.
On the map, because easily try and get in behind him, but sitting just above half HP, he should be fine. But at least getting a good answer on towards aiming at the moment and keeping himself in check in the lane is going to work out perfectly for him.
And they've got the timer on the respawn of these Raptors. Raptors number 2 here, so they know.
Ooh, Lucid going after Scout, forcing the flash out of him. Summoner spell for summoner spell there, but DK's happy to take it, make that Galio more vulnerable.
Yeah, LNG know that, yeah, they could come for our second Raptors, but it doesn't matter if you know. Nice little bit of damage there, gonna force Scout's flash. Pretty big here for Lucid.
The Galio is such a turbo R5 this game. I know, that's what I was saying too.
The Galio is really big.
I think it's good.
Vi plus Ari, you want to have the level 6 kill potential really be there. And with now Scout on the Galio.
Nacho Libre, thank you for Twitch Prime sub. Welcome back.
Right now
I think you should call your fans children now since they ask so many questions. Monty, why? It's like my 4-year-old. Why?
Jumps towards his opponents with a hook shot for the extra distance, but it does not matter. First blood over to aiming on the Zig.
So I think Zika was expecting Lucid to try and go for the Q and was hoping to flash over, but instead he only ends up flashing into the waiting arms of Lucid and sets up for that kill.
It's so hard versus Poppy angles too, because he's like, I don't want to.
Are we there yet? Dude, my 4-year-old hit a new low while we were in California. Like, we got into the car and I start driving for 1 second and he asks, are we there yet? Chad's Thunder, subscribe with Prime. Thank you very much. The other thing that my 4-year-old does is I tell him to use his brain. I say, use your brain when he asks me a question. And he says, his response is, I'm using your brain. That's what he says to me. I'm using your brain. And then he says, you're thinking about farts.
Get too close to the wall, yes. But then if you flash that angle, then you're getting banged into the tower, and they still got the stun, setting it up for aiming for Ziggs to get fed. Now the opposite dive.
Yeah, they want to get this dive onto.
Sounds like Twitch chat. Yeah, you guys are like, I tell you to use your brain, and then you're like, no, Monty, we're using your brain.
Out, but Scout's made his way down to the fight now too. 4v1, Kingen still level 5, nowhere close to being able to go all out, but he knocks him back, doing a beautiful job so far. Kingen, one-man army from DK, he finally falls.
It's all right, Showmaker's here to not get any kills.
Barely stumbling out of it.
Yeah, he got a couple of them low, but he still goes down, and Showmaker could not clean up. Even with the 2 low health members, due to the tower, he could not clean up any extra kills.
And he just there hit level 6 as well. That would have been such a big difference if it was slightly fast. Low health, barely stumbling back, doing a beautiful job so far. Kingen.
It's so hard versus Poppy angles too, because he's like, I don't want to get too close to the wall.
Yeah.
But then if you flash that angle, then you're getting banged into the tower.
So Scout gets chunked out, but he manages to TV back in the mid and push, which gives him a roam timer into the bot side.
Onto Kingen if they can. Doing a good job defending himself for now. Turret shots flying out, but Scout's made his way down to the fight now too. 4v1, Kingen still level 5, nowhere close to being able to go all out, but he knocks him back, doing a beautiful job so far. Kingen, one.
All right, that's just really hard to stop, right? Showmaker just tragically not 6 yet.
LNG barely stumbling out of it.
Yeah, he got a couple of them low, but he still goes down, and Showmaker could not clean up. Even with the 2 low health members, due to the tower, he could not clean up any extra kills.
And he just, but he's from DK, he finally falls. LNG.
I don't know. I feel like Showmaker needs to try to make the play here. I understand that there's a massive wave coming into this bot side, but he hits 6 here.
With the 2 low health members due to the tower, he could not clean up any extra kills.
And he just
I guess he thinks they're getting the wave and maybe they're getting a plate in top side, but
it was slightly faster, but unfortunately for DK, LNG, even though they had a tough time doing it, they got it done. Gala.
All right, he
flashes
forced
back to
flash.
the wall. Showmaker with a spirit rush to try to chase him down. He's all out of charges now, though. The orb flies out.
Oh, dude, going over the wall under turret.
Of Zika, who does not have his own ulti. The Camille
All right, well, they are allowed to cross-map a little bit here, so it's actually not disastrous. I mean, D+ still in a lead. They're still actually getting grub advantages. But it's just their composition is so dog shit.
This should fall. So despite it being that top tower,
I don't know if it should fall. We'll see. I guess they have Satchel, so it'll be fine.
better early game for the LCK representative.
Them getting first tower in this, like, swapping into top side is actually quite good.
And he was also the one
They're denying this wave as well.
hit onto the kill for the first blood that they got on Zika, so it's going to be a very, very dangerous Ziggs very early on into this game.
Yeah, there you go.
The thing is, like, Showmaker, I think, probably could have gotten at least 1 kill there and blown his flash.
But he can just join up with the rest of his team.
But the safe play was because jungle is topside and you're cross-mapping, like, you actually get that whole wave this way, and you actually just provide cover because he stopped a recall on Gala, so there wasn't a response, and they get first tower and all the plates on top. So it does funnel gold onto... I mean, it did put them like 1,000 gold ahead, so I understand why Showmaker didn't take the risk. But Kingen is having a fucking terrible series. Like, what are we doing here? What are we doing? Just leave it alone. Just your support and jungle aren't even there. Like, Kingen just walking up on these guys. He W's out during the stun, but yikes, man.
What in the hell are we doing, Kingen? That was not the right choice.
Kingen having a stinker of a series.
And now the fight might just
Lucid
continue.
Q.
Lucid wants to try to get away back over the wall. The ball breaker.
What the fuck, Lucid?
That was not the right choice. LNG getting a punish. Have a massive numbers advantage. They catch King and he went way too close.
We don't have to chain it, do we? He literally queues into the pit to take a ward. He literally queues into the pit to kill a pink ward. Look at this. Look at this. There's his Q right there. You see him dashing over that wall. While Kingen is dying, he queues into the pit to kill a pink ward. And now his Q's not on cooldown.
And now the fight might just continue. Lucid wants to try to get away back over the wall. The ball
So he just dies.
DK just
He literally died for pink ward.
Is that Dragon Pit the Mabruda Triangle? Like, they're all getting lost in there.
Yeah, what the fuck? I agree with Kobe.
That's 2 free kills.
It's the Bermuda Triangle Dragon Pit.
This is really cool. Kingen's getting some nice damage down. They're just making it awkward for them and like
Like, I understand this. You're delaying the Drake and getting some chip on them because you hope that Poppy and Vi are going to show up.
Poppy's not there. This is 2v4. Like, this is not where you want to try and take this fight. And sure, they get the damage on Hung,
but when the cavalry show up,
Yeah, you can
they're not the riders of Rohan. They're like Shrek on a donkey.
We want to try and punish them. We want
Look at this guy. He just derps himself to death.
But then Lucid dies for a control ward inside the Dragon Pit. The Dragon Pit where the dragon had already been taken, nonetheless. So 2 free ones there. I mean, LNG are very happy to get that extra money because DK had been building such a good advantage in this early game. Their Ziggs game plan was going full steam ahead. He already got it.
They literally just sacrificed their entire game plan. You know what I mean? So the sequence here. All right, so the dive happens bot side. We see Showmaker. He plays it safe, collects the wave. What happens as a result? Showmaker delays Gala's recall here, forces him under the turret, forces Gala's flash. Unfortunately, loses his own flash too because Camille is there. Meanwhile, Ziggs pushes top, takes all 5 plates plus tower. 5 plus tower, right? And they take grubs. 3 grubs, right? So the next sequence of play is, why are we contesting this Drake? We actually can just reset into the top side, right? And what we do is we reassign Ziggs to bot side after Drake is taken. We put pressure onto this turret. We actually wait for TP to come back up. And then when grubs respawn, we either have Ziggs TP up, right? Or you put Ziggs mid and King and bot, whatever. Right, you can put Ziggs mid. Then you can actually pressure. I would put Ziggs bot just because if you're far away from the grubs, you have more of a choice as to whether you want plates or to actually contest the grubs. Because LNG they have to go after the next grubs, right? So you can just say, like, do we have setup? We're going to poke around. If we think we have an opportunity, we can try and take a grub here. If not, they lose more plates on the bot side. They lose bot turret potentially, and you just trade 3 grubs for plates and turret, right? That's what I think.
The first blood money,
there are ways to play this sequence out where D+ actually has a lot of agency. They get to decide what happens in this game. They have tempo. They have control. And they have gold leads.
We'll see though if you know, LNG are able to get their dive game plan going. We now have our level 6s for both the Galio as well as the Camille. So our possibilities of the traps, that kind of goated combo that you look for, is going to be operational.
Man, that was not what DK needed. They were 3 grubs ahead. I mean, technically they still are 3 grubs ahead. It just doesn't feel as good after the blunder there in the Drake pit. 9.5 minutes into the game. Second set of grubs spawns in 60 seconds.
And I would say your game plan of the Fed Ziggs is still going really nicely. Already rotated him into mid lane here. Can easily destroy these minion waves. Keep up the early push. Allow you then to set up your play as the Rift Herald is about to spawn. Push mid wave. Get everybody over there. Top tower's already dead.
How hard on the voice is it to cast back-to-back series on a caster?
Like this happen.
It depends on how many days in a row you're doing it. So I will say for me, in 2014, when I was casting 5 days a week, 2 best of 3s every day, and I was doing Summoning Insight, basically on the 2 days that I wasn't casting, I had to drink tons of throat coat tea with lemon juice and honey, and I had to be very careful not to speak because at the end of those 5 days, my voice hurt. So, but 1 day of it is not hard.
You have to get right back into focusing on the next step.
Hello, Gilius.
You've got this setup for aiming in fights is perfect as well, because Lucid, the immediate follow-up with that ultimate, that's why we often saw the Ziggs paired with things like
Gilius, who is your favorite to win the World Championship for League of Legends in the year of our Lord 2024?
Zig out of a fight makes these upcoming scraps significantly easier, so LNG need to pull off some kind of magic to make these next few fights go in their favor.
Yeah, and they should be
LNG. Ooh, I like the hot take. I like the hot take. I'm down for an LNG win.
For Ziggs as well. So gets another purchase, and looking at the 6 stack of grubs,
LNG's been doing really well.
Would be very nice for them, even though their bottom tower here is very close to going down, and 3 members of LNG are coming to try and make sure of that.
Yep, we got another teleport coming in to try to turn this into a very one-sided fight. It's another bad experience for King.
That's fine. They're going to get grubs from it.
0, 3, and 0 on Cassante in this game.
I mean, getting 6 grubs with this is like a really good win condition for D+, considering that their draft is shit.
Off of your push on top side, off of your push in mid lane, but we're going to know that you're taking those grubs and make a play on the other side of the map.
I think it's always one of the most critical skills in League of Legends that really separates the top teams. Hold on now, another one of those skills is a dive when you can find it. Beautifully done from DK, but a nice interruption as LNG want to get that counter attack now on Lucid, who tries to escape off to the right, but it's not going to do a whole lot. You would have to think. Lucid still staying alive.
It doesn't matter if they die for this, if they keep getting plates and turret. They're trying to get it so low enough to satchel. Oh my god, they overplayed, they overcooked. They threw the satchel out as well, but it didn't get low. The turret didn't get low enough.
It looks so good for DK. That was the combo that we were just talking about, where you can annihilate Gala, but just end up going that little bit too far forward. Lucid gets caught, and every member of LNG comes out of the woodwork to try and turn that one around.
I was about to say, before that happened, one of the most critical skills of being a good team is knowing when to just let something go and take something else instead.
There we go.
LNG was not willing to let Gala go unavenged.
Unfortunately, DK's gold lead has evaporated.
Of this game, even with the chaos that does bloom out of this game, you still have the
Still 2 TP advantage now for D+.
Taking towers.
Yes, sir.
You gotta believe that they should really have a slam dunk on taking Herald here.
You know, he is going to be the real consistent damage for them as it gets later.
Showmaker TPing into taunt.
Showmaker with some damage as he teleports in.
I was gonna say the tank Galio doesn't really
bad
hit as hard
TP.
as you kind of hope for when they're TPing in though. It's kind of like, oh, you take none of my health, but I also take none of yours. So good day, sir. We'll back away, but they will back away.
Very bad TP from Showmaker. There's no reason to waste that
See if you
TP.
can just put some pressure on towards Moham, but
Is the one staying focused here for DK as usual. You know, he is going
Actual
to be,
just dog shit
the real
TP.
consistent damage for them.
now trying to see if he can just put some pressure on towards Moham, but he cannot defend this top tower by himself, but the wave isn't quite in position.
Now you don't have TP in bot lane to provide pressure while you take Herald, so maybe you lose Herald because you just TP'd stupidly.
1-1. This time around, it's all Grubs over to DK, both Drakes over to LNG. The Soul this time is more valuable as well, being a Mountain Soul, particularly against a Zig.
That's unbelievable that it's Mountain Soul in this game. LNG got so lucky, guys. Dude, Mountain Soul is against the 0 damage composition that D+ is running. And the fact that they can just itemize MR, the Mountain Soul value is just fucking insane. If they can get that shield.
Considering how effective Ziggs can be at those neutral standoffs.
Yeah, I mean, on the flip side, though, you still have a Ziggs with 6 grub buff, right? So you have to be so careful here as LNG about how you set up, because the second Ziggs goes onto a turret, that turret's gone. And I think at the moment they're doing a decent job of moving Scout into positions where he is kind of being the defensive side laner, where you have Zika being the...
Okay, look at the setup, guys, for LNG. Showmaker no TP because he wasted it. He's trying to catch the minion wave here. He's in position to ult in as Galio right now, so they're trying to complete their setup and push out. Objective control much better.
Offensive side laner and having people like Weiwei and Hung play towards
D+ just blowing their macro again.
Clear these waves, they should be fine, but one misstep and DK can rip so much gold off the map.
Yeah, especially because so much of their gold is from turret plates and turrets themselves. That the Ziggs has.
D+ is gonna get boomed, aren't they?
So we'll see about
They can't walk in on this.
Everybody heading over towards top river, so I feel like we might get a nice little scrap here.
Yes, sir. Rift Herald has spawned. LNG with a 5-man play going in. They find the Glacial Prison, but it's only on the Moham. How much do they want to commit to this? Looks like the whole kitchen sink. Should be a 1-for-1 though. Hung barely getting away. Showmaker
nice Camille ult onto Lucid. Actually just stops his engage cold.
They want to commit to this. Looks like the whole kitchen sink. Should be a 1-for-1 though. Hung barely getting away. Showmaker finally going to finish him, but Lucid's going to drop next. 3v4. Aiming is still alive. Kingen trying to cut off Zika. Hero's entrance looking to back up that top laner as Kingen is once again in a bad spot. He has to flash to try to escape, but it's
nice flash from Scout.
LNG doing a beautiful job.
Oh, this is so terrible from D+.
Forehead of aiming, and that one is going to be a clean.
They could have had this Herald, but they fucked up.
Punches are very satisfying.
Oh, yeah.
That was actually beautiful kind of dissection of the fight from LNG. They cut off
Scout's
both
enormous now,
members here,
too.
As you see, Galio ultimate used up to the top side and then jumping right back over the wall.
Yeah, and it was just a great setup because you see the steadfast presence go down, which means that Zik is just waiting for the
The thing is, they wait for the rel engage, get the pick off.
Once Lucid does, the immediate ult from the Camille means that he can't really threaten on towards the back line. And then Kobe, as you just highlighted, the split up here. Gala staying away from the wall, so King can't really get him into position. Weiwei getting that knock up. You've got Scout, who's peeled.
I mean, there's just 0% chance this Galio dies to the Ziggs and Ahri that are remaining. He already has Hollow Radiance.
Alongside flashing over the wall to finish off aiming. Beautiful stuff from LNG.
Yeah, I love it. You know, Scout, he protects.
Talking about aiming being the win to Gala, who this time working towards that Rage Blade here yet again. But once he gets online, when you've got this Galio and this Camille working with you, chugga, 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 chugga. That's the dive train, and it's leaving the station.
But this is the champion Gala made his name on. This is the pick that he was associated with for so long. The ability to have these big playmaking moments, understand exactly when he needs to go in with the killer instinct, and even picking up numerous pentakills on the champion. So it's kind of been comforting.
Yeah, Lucid's not having a good series. Whatever, guys. He's a rookie.
Show back why he's so feared, both domestically and internationally.
He's a rookie at an international event.
So let me ask you guys. This game, early on, started off way better for DK than the first game did, and then just fumbling the ball over and over and over again, getting outplayed by LNG. How do they stabilize this and try to take themselves to a game 3?
I do think a huge amount of it has to be a combo between Lucid and Aiming. Just try and delete Gala off the map, and then you can deal with Zika by himself, which is the amount of CC you have, because the build that Scout's going, he has the Hollow Radiance already, he is tanky, but the damage behind that profile isn't quite there yet. So as long as you can deal with one threat in Gala, it becomes significantly easier to deal with the other threat, which is Zika.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. It's either like Lucid and Aiming ults coming over, or Lucid and Showmaker, you know, dashing in.
I mean, when Kingen was getting dove, guys, it wasn't actually that bad because D+ was trading up. So I'm not saying Kingen has played well. Like, he played fucking terribly around that Drake, and he didn't need to die there. But a couple of these dives from Kingen have actually been net positive for D+. They've been overcommitments from LNG. So Kingen has been bad, but also they have been playing. D+ has cross-mapped well when Kingen has died a couple of times.
So even trying to get that moment may cost you your lives, but maybe a sacrifice DK have to be willing to make. As third dragon started, DK, a lot of respect here.
Sometimes you just have to be the sacrifice to feed Aiming.
They have it is because they dropped the Rift Herald back in mid lane as a distraction that needs to be answered by DK here at the same time. Showmaker's going to step up, but the Mountain Drake is already secured by Weiwei here on the Sejuani. LNG now at soul point, 3 Drakes to nothing.
And when you're running a team like this that is based on
Mountain Soul is so crazy for them.
Those answers was moments where he goes
so crazy. They got so lucky on the roll on this one.
Type of decision making that can show up in some of these high pressure situations. So the way
Ooh, double Leandries. They're just gonna dot LNG to death. Surely this will work. Surely this is going to work, guys. As we just build MR on absolutely fucking everyone on LNG.
With the ultimate, gets kind of taken for a ride.
Is Gala gonna build Wit's End, guys?
But, yeah, those are the ones where you go a little bit more.
Is Gala gonna build Wit's End? Let's see it. I want it.
To also, like, pull this play off in transition, you know, so that LNG don't get to use their full combination of a team. And right now, LNG are actually splitting them across. They're going to be able to have bot side push with Zika. His flash and his teleport are both ready on the Camille, so he gets bot lane push first while the rest of the team...
Don't need Void Staff. Who needs penetration? Yeah. It's the Mormon build. No pen.
Mid lane to secure jungle.
Trying to go into Moham, not quite able to get him, but LNG is a team that has struggled when it comes towards actually playing out a map state in a 1-3-1 or these kind of split push scenarios. So I'm going to be keeping my eyes on how they start to play this one out. At least getting these early objectives. They haven't played relatively well on Scout, kind of hovering to create a lot of that pressure, but you still need to see these turrets really start to fall.
And in watching LNG with a lot of the LPL teams, I feel like LNG is very good and methodical when they've got these nice leads and they've got everything that they need set up. They're the ones with their nice gold lead already. They already have control over this entire bot side jungle leading up to Dragon. It's important that you get those wards out early.
Monty, what would you think if AI starts to replace casters? I would not care. Because those guys have inted their careers so hard by never unionizing or creating anything that they own that it is very difficult to have sympathy.
Yeah, Showmaker and Lucid both.
If only they had done something like unionize like the Screen Actors Guild, and therefore they would have leverage against AI in their jobs. But did they do that? No.
Both around here. Mega Inferno Bomb used to just clear the wave. Scout's Justice Punch gets interrupted, so then he has to flash to try to escape, but a nice charm from Showmaker to lock him up, and LNG is going to get punished immediately. The bio to stop the hero's exit. Beautifully done there to ruin the game plan of their opponents. DK showing that they're still paying attention here in the bottom. Used to just clear the wave. Scout's Justice Punch gets
as I TP back to try and play off.
I mean, this is just hilarious because they're pushed up as 3.
Lucid both around here. Mega Inferno Bomb used to just clear the wave. Scout's Justice Punch gets
into the bot side.
Flash to try to escape, but a nice charm from Showmaker.
It's a huge kill. Nice save. Unfortunately, Vi gets the shutdown. That's pretty shit instead of Showmaker. But saves the ult to actually cancel Galio ult.
They're still paying attention here in the bottom lane.
Great read from DK. This is kind of a set play that LNG have used a couple of times. Zika just hops over the wall where they will try and just overload one side lane where they have these TP advantages to make some sort of magic happen. And you've always got Scout who can use his ultimate to get back alongside Zika with the TP, but DK were aware of it. They already had Lucid moving into position as that wave was about to crash, and it's a great turnaround for DK.
It's a huge moment. Our eyeballs were just all on Lucid, and him being able to use Vi ultimate to lock somebody down, and they have Showmaker there, and they make the play. So very nicely done for them. Nice little punish, but it doesn't completely change the direction of the game because all of the setup work that LNG had done is still pretty much true. They still have their deep wards in the jungle leading up towards the dragon, so they can still set up nicely here as it's now only 1 minute away, and this is going to be a very early soul fight.
The big thing that I'm looking at here is Scout not only died, but he did lose both summoner spells, the TP committing to be there as well as the Flash trying to escape, so neither one of those tools will be available for this upcoming soul fight, and if LNG ends up getting forced off, or even if they decide to fight forward and they lose by a small margin, that could be a big difference maker.
I think this is where we will see LNG.
All right, the items are coming in though. Rookern is now done. They have Rookern on Weiwei plus Locket, so he can Locket Zig's ult.
Showmaker's been doing a very similar job.
You know, we have Sterix now on Zika. Like, this is I think this is a good fight for LNG.
With this Drake about to spawn in less than 5 seconds now, Mohan and Hung fighting back and forth for the vision control in the brushes around.
Already got the 2 items, but it doesn't. What the fuck is this? Lucid, buddy. Who is going to take advantage of this Black Cleaver? Why are we building Black Cleaver?
That control is going to be as DK brings everybody down.
What is Abyssal Mask? Yeah, for sure.
Do have their teleports ready. Zika's going to be able to push
it'd be weird for it under normal circumstances. It'd be weird for Vi to build Abyssal, but it's probably good here.
Curved bush in the river, by the way. This one they're fighting over right now. Weiwei clears it out again himself. That one is so critical for these fights around Dragon. So retaken vision control now by LNG in this bush.
Maybe Lucid is stuck in an alternate timeline where they didn't pick Poppy B3, but they picked Smolder or Tristana B3 instead before they were banned.
I'm not sure if he's come close to that
He's trying to give value.
May want to try and get that in just so we can come in with the TP, but LNG giving up a lot of space here to DK.
I think the fight on top lane is actually really important too, to be able to see where that goes, since it is actually 2 items for Zika. Slight advantage here over Kingen, who hasn't been able to complete. And he's trying to make it work. He does get his teleport off, so LNG, they want this soul. They're going to send everybody.
Zika here first. LNG with control of the pit. They're going to pour some DPS into the objective. DK still got to be careful about their approach, but they're going to be a little bit too little, too late. Mega Inferno Bomb over the...
Scout was just channeling the taunt there.
They want to try to get their control over the pit. They're going to pour some DPS into the objective.
He's trying to anticipate
DK,
the
still got to be careful about their approach, but
Vi engage.
Too little, too late. Mega Inferno Bomb over the top.
So he actually, that's actually genius. He actually taunts Vi in the middle of her Q dash, but she can still smite.
Get their jungler in there, but instead the
Ooh, it's so close.
coming out from LNG. The Drake is going to be secure. That is Mountain Soul. Want to try to get their jungler in there, but instead
just kidding, because Lucid flashes out. He just flashes out, guys. Lucid. Lucid, my friend. You have to stay in that fight. You have to stay in that fight. You just have to ult and like fucking smite the Drake. You gotta ult somebody. Ult Gala. Oh, he can't. He's invisible. Rip. Like you can't flash out in that situation. You have to at least try for the 50-50. This fight is actually unlosable.
LNG still chasing, but Weiwei is at death's door. Aiming takes him down, and Hung is going to be stopped. LNG still scrambling to fight. A double kill back over to Aiming. Make it a trip.
Oh my god, I can't believe... What? I thought this fight was just unlosable. Like, you get the Mountain Soul, you get the shield.
to the LPL squad.
Gala does nothing with his ult. That's part of the problem.
They gotta be careful. Zika here on the front line, gonna be taken low, but he barely survived thanks to Sterix.
Gala's ult doesn't do anything because they can't kill Lucid.
LNG still chasing, but Weiwei is at death's door. Aiming takes him down, and Hung is gonna be stopped. LNG still scrambling to fight. A double kill back over to Aiming. Make it a triple for the Zigs. Scout. Careful, Zika here on the front line.
I thought they had more cooldowns. They did. I didn't think Gala had used his ults to do absolutely nothing. But the play here that you're making, by the way, is like Gala, the Galio and the Kaisa ults are used to accomplish nothing, right? But this is a great play. First off, you get the taunt there, you get the stun lock, Lucid flashes out, Zika locks them down on the side, but there's nobody here because Cassante ults him out, right? You don't hit anybody with anything. Gala gets like 0 autos off. In the meantime, they're just kiting you out and dealing damage the whole time. Chasing, but they wasted their ults, man.
Aiming takes him down, and Hung is going to be stopped. LNG still scrambling to fight. A double kill back over to Aiming. Make it a triple for the Zigs. Scout about to fall, and the Void Seeker won't get one back. It's soul of an LNG. It's fight for DK.
Oh my God, do they get Baron off of that? That is insane.
Actually, we have to take these towers because of these double AP mages that are just buffering through the
it is silly to risk the game, LNG. If you're in this position and Lucid flashes out and you get this for free and you force TP, there's literally 0 reason to fight this if you're LNG because you are going to scale super well, and Mountain Soul is like your dream soul. You actually just don't have to win the game right here. You can just walk out. You can literally just leave, you know, and not fight.
Door. Aiming takes him down, and Hung is going to be stopped. LNG still scrambling to fight. A double kill back over to Aiming. Make it a triple for the Zigs. Scout about to fall, and the Void Seeker won't get one back. It's soul of an LNG. It's fight for DK.
A better team would have won in this situation. They definitely could have won that fight. But the Camille, Galio, and Kaisa ults had very little value. But it's also, even if you could win there, it's also just not necessary to fight there.
It's only fight again because I believe Kingen Cassante ults Camille out of his own ultimate so that nobody was locked into the Galio combo. We'll take another look because it starts out so nicely for LNG. They force them off the dragon, they take the dragon, then they Camille Galio ult here, and then it is Kingen takes him out so that Lucid's able to escape as well, and nobody gets caught in the combination. The re-engage then, sacrificing his life there as Kingen goes in to get the knockback, and they get so much damage out of this Zig.
There's just no pressure on Aiming at any point in time here. Beautiful satchel.
To make sure he can get that double kill.
All right, back to live. Engage from Lucid, going in, tries to find the slam on the Weiwei. The Sejuani not anywhere tanky enough to survive this, and DK with momentum barreling down the bottom lane.
They saw Zuka in this top side, so they immediately go for the pick. They get it, and the reset now from Kingen to defend this top turret as well. DK getting a lot of value out of this Baron buff and outplaying on the map right now.
The scary thing is like as much as D+'s comp sucks, their siege with the 6 grubs and Baron buff and Ziggs is fucking insane. Plus you have Poppy, so you can knock people away from turrets that you're taking. You don't actually you just don't even have to fight in this situation. It is crazy with this draft that D+ is 5,000 gold ahead in this game.
Is absolutely pumping damage into these structures. 5 turrets to 2 favoring DK. Dragons are not necessary. They've got everything else in their control right now.
DK is always so fun to watch. So much damage for Showmaker, you know, big to the soul that they got.
Oh, he was going with the, you're not diving, you're not really doing anything on LNG's side, and if DK continues building their lead, the dive gets tougher and tougher. Moham, very, very low, but he still stays alive critically. Kingen trying to also continue the retreat. LNG keeps the chase alive. Scout doing a great job, locking up the enemy Cassante. Zik has already killed off Moham, but meanwhile, back in the jungle, it's Gala under pressure. Huge damage coming in. Gala is saved somehow by the hero's entrance, plus the shielding. The Kaisa stands tall.
The locket from Weiwei barely keeps Gala alive as that last punch comes in from Lucy.
What a series, man. This is awesome.
What a world. This entire event has been sick so far.
Kobe, we flew out at the right time, dude. This is
a jet lag. You waking out, lads? You feeling it?
Yeah. Out into the next stage of Worlds here. They want to be able to finish out this game, and of course the power of a Mountain Soul is so big in these all-in fights where they just get the full commitment, they can make use of this full shields, and they have had, you know, lightning quick engages here. So we'll take a look at the combinations. You have to, of course, always keep checking back in on the flashes, and most of them have their flashes back and available. It's just, of course, Scout Galio knocks
the game. But
the team comes to hover.
That Zig so huge here for DK. Zika jumps in for the immediate stun on Kingen, but the Cassante can't really be the target. It can't be the focus for LNG if they want to have a good fight here as DK groups up and exits back towards mid.
Yeah, they're trying to make sure that Scout can't come in behind them with a big taunt. Zika trying to wrap around, completely out of vision. Lucid trying to mark him and spot him out. We'll just see him here now.
Okay, they've got eyes on Zika, but now
Oh my god.
the fight's gonna start off. Lucid wanted to go in, but it ain't gonna work out here quite yet. Aiming forced into the stasis here immediately, but a massive engage coming up from Hung. He locks everybody up, but where's the follow-up? Kingan's gonna die. Gala takes him out. DK trying to get them.
Kingan did a really good job of stopping scouts. This was almost like a crazy wombo here, by the way. Because Scout wants to come in. Off of this, they knock Sejuani out. And Kingan actually Q3s to knock Scout out of his ult channel. Because if Scout gets to ult on top of aiming right there, great engage by Hung though. He three-man rel engages. Kingan did a good job there.
Out of vision. Lucid trying to mark him and spot him out. We'll just see him here now.
Okay.
Lucid though on the flank versus Zika, it's really hard because if you are via ulting first onto Camille can use Hextech Ultimatum just to cancel Vi ult, so now Vi has no value.
Takes him out. DK trying to get themselves away. Zika still barely alive here at about 25% HP back into the Drake pit. Lucid over the
and even though you have this enormously fed Ziggs, the itemization of the Mountain Soul is just too fucking good.
Aiming. He needs to recall, reset, rejoin the fight here with the
I don't know how it gets better than that for D+ as well, just because like you actually just interrupted the Galio engage, which is probably the most you could hope for, and Cassante wasted a bunch of their carries time.
Aiming in Moham, trying to get themselves back away as Weiwei will be left alone here with the Elder Dragon. Hung still chasing, and Elder execute would be almost immediate here on the Moham. He's about to take the damage. The winds of war are blowing, and they will burn down the house of DK. Aiming, the last man standing. He's kiting them all the way through the jungle. They got to be careful about this one. The Ziggs is
he's on the wrong side of the map. He's gonna get killed eventually.
So many more men. Weiwei still coming back around from the side. The Elder Dragon Sejuani.
Oh, it bounced. Oh, nice one.
With a beautiful Mega Inferno.
He's still dead though.
Take out the enemy support, but he pays with it with his life. And LNG get a delayed ace plus Elder.
It's aiming versus the world against the dragoned up LNG, but he just can't do it, and he can't get it done here either. The LNG play out this fight so incredibly well, picking off Lucid, immediately turning on towards Showmaker. Zika buying so much space on the top side alongside Hung, and the eventual turnaround
contest.
All right, well, now we have Elder and Baron. Surely we just end the game now. Wave clear, still going to be annoying versus Ziggs.
pressure onto the wave stays, but LNG, they're there.
Zika's still your target, but he's staying alive for now. The TP coming in. Zika with the Hextech ultimatum, trying to take out the
Oh, Kingan didn't actually break the Camille ult.
Bring him out of the ultimatum, but he still has to retreat because of the damage pouring in as Moham leads the charge. Weiwei still
got at least two defenses of the inhibitor tower, so they really do have to rely on their
26,000 damage on the Ziggs. Holy moly.
Camille, story that we already Dragon Soul with all the extra
seeing the angle to block his escape. Now a 5v4 for LNG. Glacial Prison on the Kingan yet again. The 0-6 Cassante has had such a struggle here in the second game as LNG, their Baron is about
LNG siege is pretty bad though. They can tower dive, but their siege is pretty shit.
Now, as the wave is also about to crash, Mega Inferno Bomb with very little value. Mid lane inhibitor would be the first one to fall on DK's. DK gets no more members.
then rotate, and your mid inhibitor down once again. It is going to be that very dangerous situation where you're going into an L to force the fight on you when you come to face check. Similar to their full dive.
To buy another item, and they can just continue to put pressure there, but now drawing him down onto this bottom side, it will mean that he has a good flank opportunity for this potential Earl Drake.
Knight's Vow and Sejuani as well.
Little vision there, so Showmaker
now how does Gala die?
Imagine it'll be Showmaker trying to mark Zika as he moves in here.
GA, Bloodthirster, Terminus, Knight's Vow, yikes. How does Gala die?
Zika still at a pincer angle here, not on top of the ward. As the Drake.
When is Dash coming back to the desk? I don't know. I wish he would.
But no real DPS put into it from either side. DK still attempting to approach here on this river angle, but now you got a TP coming in as Zika just bought his Death's Dance. It is full build Camille going into the second Elder Drake fight of the game. Gala taking the poke though from aiming as Showmaker's forced into the stasis. He's got to try to get himself back away. Zika into the back line, but he's already isolated. He's going to be knocked down. Surely though, right? Hero's entrance ain't quite going to find the way that it's looking for. Zika into the back line, aiming, trying to get away.
GA procced, but Scout just comes in with the taunt onto aiming. All they have to do is just dive aiming it, and it is easy for them to get back there with Galio, Camille, and Kaisa. Well, well-deserved win from LNG. D+ does suck a dong, though. I really hope they don't make it to bracket stage.
Use differences to find these big wins.
Yeah, I feel like Hawa really deserves so much credit, you know, for their success in that series, and they were already, you know, jumping off of like the AD mid strain. Yeah, the Tristana, Zekas was playing it and got some really big wins, including a solo kill, which was quite nice. But
all right. So no Skarner, no Nidalee. Obviously, these teams know each other extremely well. No Ziggs. Skarner has been the Canyon priority pick. He was playing it more in LCK playoffs than anybody else. We're taking away Doran's Jax. That hasn't been a big pick for Keen. And we're taking away Smolder. So Yone goes first for Zek. That seems dangerous. I don't know if I'd take away the Smolder over the Yone. Especially because... Why would we... Here's a question for you guys. If we're Gen G, why do we ban Smolder here? You could leave Yone up, and then Chovy could play into... He could play Smolder into Yone, because like they're definitely going to pick Yone over Smolder because it's Zeka.
Always be first pick. HLE actually...
They do get Aurora, though, and... Ooh, interesting combo. Aurora Nocturne. The Prison of Darkness.
Couldn't have the as insane of an impact as he would have on that bottom side to look to threaten this Nocturne at the early stage.
And the insta-lock here from Chovy, bringing out the Ahri here. Again, another like double
It's a huge dive composition for Gen G.
We definitely expect them to also have some very...
Plenty. That's really...
With the Kalista.
Ezreal, Jhin. I don't know if the Jhin is necessary to ban. Feels like they would probably go for a more standard ADC. We're just going to take Kaisa here for Pays. Oh, we're going to take Varus. Interesting.
A pretty strong lane phase.
Gives you some... I guess this is kind of necessary because they don't have any non-committal engage right now, and now they at least have Varus ult to toss out there. Does give them a certain level of lane dominance also. All in composition from HLE. Pretty standard for this meta, I gotta say, from Hanwha. A little bit weirder for Gen G, some fringe meta picks like Nocturne or Varus.
Dichotomy that we have, because you know they have really hard engage here on HLE.
I wonder if HLE's gonna lane swap this.
Kind of counter engage with Renata, trying to get your ulti off to buy some space. If you can create darkness with Nocturne and avoid damage, then Jhin so much because. barely lost any games. He's absolutely crushing it. And you're giving it over to Zeka, who loves this champion, already used it to beat you. So
And it's also
there's a lot of talk I can already see.
Anime protagonist, you're putting in the block and just saying, hey, show me what you've got. And that's kind of where this like Yone edgy guy just gets to show his stuff, right? He wants to be close and personal with you, so you're kind of just setting that up. So curious now to see how Gen.G want to try and make this happen. I don't think they want to opt in towards a lane swap, but it looks like they're just trying to deny a potential lane swap.
There's no traditional tanks on Gen.G though, so this feels like more like a pick composition for Gen.G.
Featured matchup presented by Mercedes-Benz. This game is right there in the mid lane between Zeka and Chovy. These guys that have had series record against Chovy is 2-16.
Two important ones, though.
Yeah, the two ones that he won were World Semifinals 2022 and then LCK Summer Finals just this split. Two big ones for Zeka to say, hey, it's not about the quantity, it's about the quality.
Is it kind of Chad, no? Beat you in some really, really big ones. And, of course, we do have the lane swap that HLE have started out. So that means our supports are going to come mid. Actually, we have Keen coming mid, so it's not going to be the support plus, mid laner.
Okay, Hanwha initiating the lane swap as expected.
And Delight's just going to pass on through.
Canyon really hasn't been super good so far at Worlds. He's been pretty rocky.
Yeah, I don't think Gen.G spotted that Viper was topside. They only saw Doran, so thought it was going to be standard lane. So
Delight actually taking away some of the small chickens is very annoying for.
They went for the lane swap and they played for basically what Delight is doing now.
So waiting for his ability to come back up so he can actually just use it to secure that without Delight stealing it. The big Raptor. Pretty bold start here by Peanut to start weak side jungle.
And peel some of the jungle attempts here.
Okay, you're gonna have to check, and then he has to go bot. But the thing is, Canyon's only level 2 as a result of this, because there's no more camps to take in bot side. So he can't threaten the dive because he actually has to go back to his own blue side jungle. It's a little bit awkward. It's a free TP for Doran. Like, basically, because Peanut started weak side in his own jungle and took away those camps, Canyon can't hover bot, which means that they're able just to get Doran for free kind of underneath this turret without the threat of a dive.
I think that Hanwha would still be all right here. One extra turret shot there onto Keen as Doran transforms.
It's the little things, guys. It's the little things we appreciate on my stream.
Wait until he's about to hit Mega Gnar, then TP's bot, so the potential
this next bowl of green is for you, Monty. Thank you. I'm in Korea, so I can't enjoy that, but I hope you do.
So not only do you have Doran, who's gotten into a great start here, he gets that whole wave, and you can see that XP advantage already for the Gnar.
Yeah, and it was kind of Delight was like, okay, fine. You know, I don't get my level 2 for it, but then Canyon also wasn't level 3 for it, so then you didn't have the extra threat.
Toothless 0108.
Domino effect. So
I hope you get some teeth, but thank you for your Twitch Prime sub.
And it should be just continuing on with those sides.
You can if you break the law. So first off, I don't even know where to get it. And second off, it is insanely expensive and also mega illegal here, and it's just not worth the risk. Don't worry, I'll be back in Colorado for Christmas. Maybe I'll enjoy some then, legally.
Viper trying to get away from it there with a supercharger. Keen down to 250 HP, but Lehens throws out the handshake, forces the cleanse from Viper.
Yeah, but that's where you want that support to be there, so that's why.
You know what I think we need for this LCK versus LCK match? 0 LCK casters. I think that's the way that we should cast this match, guys. Just 0.
Back up towards the top side. They're okay to still soak the wave as Viper. It'll just be a little late on the reset.
How do you know the price of it? I know people who have that are not me.
Hovering in that bush for a long while.
He's hanging out, man. He knows that there could definitely be some overloading happening on the map in a lane swap type of game. As mid lane, Chovy getting this wave shoved out, wanted to crash it into the tier 1 here, but Delight is to the side.
And as Pays just reset and went back down bottom side, now they have vision of it, so they also reset, and they're going to send Viper back down there into the lane. We'll see if that flash actually ends up getting punished, because, Dagger, you mentioned it in Champion Select, but as the game goes later on, that is going to be a very critical flash, and Pays is going to have a very difficult time staying safe with all of this engaged in his face. But even now, after swapping the lanes back and sending Viper right back down here, That is going to be an area of possible attack for HLE. Try and punish Pays on his flash cooldown here, while his lane is a little bit more vulnerable.
I like how they don't even have anybody from LCK on the desk. I don't even know if the Korean casters are in Germany yet, guys.
It's very difficult to actually play aggressive on this bottom side while that flash is down. So Pays and Lehens can play up, push in this wave, potentially reset and look for the Void Grubs that are spawning in 20 seconds. But there is also an argument to just say, hey, we're going to try and farm it out. Just like play it safe, because we don't, with the level advantage for Doran.
Our spoilers are allowed, yes.
Having access to those ultimates is actually far more valuable.
I mean, we don't care. This is about analysis, guys. It's not about being surprised about the games. We're not watching live sports. Spoilers are 1,000% allowed.
They're in a great spot.
Yeah, and Peanut with his level.
We're here for the love of the game, not to be surprised.
Early antics there goes right over the grubs to start those up.
We appreciate the craftsmanship, the skill, not whatever jump scare is coming next.
Remember, a reminder, you can log into your Riot account on lowesports.com and watch Worlds Live to earn exclusive Worlds emotes, icons, and capsules. So go in there, get your stuff, get some prizes the same way that Peanut is securing those grubs right now. And it looks like Canyon is going on to the other side of the rift to take that Drake. It's the common handshake. You take grubs, I'll take Drake. One neutral objective for either side.
This does mean that you are going to get a very early level 6 Peanut, and Peanut is, as you know, an amazing tank frontline player, an amazing Sejuani player, so him with the early ultimate for Sejuani, I think will be very dangerous for Gen G. We'll see how Peanut is actually able to leverage that.
Yeah, Yasuke, I agree. Spoiler culture in general is whack. So I actually never care about spoilers in anything, because my suspension of disbelief is so incredible that I will literally forget the spoilers while I'm like watching the movie, number one. But number two, it also doesn't matter what happens in a movie or a piece or a TV show. The only thing that matters is how it happens. Like, is the writing good? You know, a shit twist, knowing a shit twist doesn't titillate me. It's still shit. You know, a good twist is still a good twist, whether you know it's coming or not. Like, it is not, like, people be freaking out over spoilers is nonsense.
As Canyon is going to have to play a little bit of catch up here on Nocturne to be able to get access to his ultimate for the counter.
Could immediately go bot here. I think that's why he hasn't reset, because look at Pays, still no flash available. This could be the point of contest with the ultimate hit.
I mean, when I was watching this series yesterday between Hanwha and G2, it felt like such a Peanut gap in the early game, constantly making the plays here on the Sejuani. We'll see if he can repeat it up against Gen G. Is hanging around down here.
Rosebud is a sled. Spoilers, Citizen Kane spoilers. Rosebud is a sled.
Going towards the bottom lane, but ended up going back into mid here instead. Still very close gold between the two squads. Nobody really pulling away with a lead thanks to extra wave management or extra rotations that they were managing to find against their opponents, catch them off guard a little bit.
Always fun to see and go over to, you know, the relationships between all of these players on these two teams. Not only was finals a banger, but of course Peanut himself and Delight and Dora and all ex-Gen G members, and you know, trying.
What is actually good about Citizen Kane besides revolutionary camera work? Look, it did break a lot of ground for the time, but I agree. I think Citizen Kane it's good, but is it overrated? Yes.
Not only just from
yes, it is.
Finals, but being on several teams together. So I think
look, man, I appreciate Orson Welles, but that movie is not the greatest movie of all time.
It just means there's so many layers upon layers of mind games and trickery and everything that's going into this that it always gets so fascinating to watch.
The Korean onion of teams and players constantly unfolding from layer to layer, showing us deeper and deeper connections between these guys. As we still have no kills on the board, 8.5 minutes in, both teams have been fine with this very quiet early game.
Yeah. I mean, people were even calling Hanwha Life like Gen G Orange, you know, and kind of memeing on it. But really, adding the 2 extra world champions really does change the way that a team plays. And everyone's so hype on Viper and Zeka especially due to their recent play. Let's see about this one, though. Pays.
Oh, my God. Beautiful play.
Engage there on Pays. Gen G's AD carry ain't get
actually, super sick play from Hanwha. Like, they have that. They have 6, so they have the Kaisa ult, and they have a ward in this brush.
Let's see about this one.
And Delight just
Ooh, Delight doing a big
hits the crash down on the flash, and then Peanut actually lands a Sejuani ult. Unlike in his last series. Ooh.
And that has been the difference. Really big target on Pei's back. He's dead, and now no summoner spells again. So the timer continues here. Now you have to really play around. No flash, no cleanse again. It is just going to be a rough game from him, as we kind of already suspected.
Great play, great setup, great execution from Hanwha there.
You said Delight's probably best engaged support in the world right now, and he immediately goes in through both summoner spells of Pei's, sets it up, knows where he's going to go through the cleanse and the flash, makes it easy to get that kill.
Yeah, and I mean, you get to see him on so many different champions, because when he started, it was definitely Rakan is his pick, and he will show up on it, but he's really evolved as a player now to things like the Rel, the Alistair, and having a ton of these extra engaged supports, and he just looks so sick on, and you got to see it there, how mechanically strong he is on these picks, and setting up now for Viper with that 1-0 kill. He's got static shiv. He's going to be such a menace now in just controlling this matchup against Pei's.
And Peanut is just so crafty, so intelligent, goes right over there. They get the kill, they get the double summoner spells, and he immediately, you know, in the minion wave. And now that they have a nice low item advantage for Peanut himself, he kind of brushes off some of the damage, though.
You do need to try and buy time here, because Peanut doesn't have his ultimate up and available, which is why Gen G are trying to play off this timing window to attack. Move down from Hanwha Life, though.
I don't know if they can get all of them, though, because that was also Varus ultimate used for the little chunk of damage.
Yeah. All right, second Void Grub is about half HP. Peanut's going to step forward, try to take that one. Meanwhile, down to the bottom lane, Doran trying to get away from Keen. He's down to 100 HP while the Grubs are fought for. 4 secured by Hanwha Life, meaning they will get the Void Might spawns.
Exactly. All of it is just depending on at least getting 1 Grub out of the first pack, and then you still have the threat for the second pack of Grubs.
I like how the ongoing battle between about pot of grubs continues, where Kobe just refuses to refer to them as pot of grubs. Well, Captain Flowers insists that they're pot of grubs, and now he's just saying pack of grubs to tilt Flowers, I assume.
Be able to get some extra pressure. Pushes in. This should be a turret plate. Very, very close to getting one. Doran's going to say, no turret plate for you. I'm going to take away your minion wave. Even with that juicy, tiny sliver of health away. Keen can't get it quite yet.
Yeah, wanted to get the potential stun underneath the tower. Doesn't manage to hit. Nicely done by Keen to escape, but it does mean Doran will just reset and move back up towards the top side, because its Dragon is now the big protocol. 10 seconds until that one's available. Zeka's good control over the mid lane, but hasn't gone for that reset quite yet. So I think Gen G should be able to get control with Chovy in mid lane.
They actually, killing the wave actually did prevent Aurora from getting the plate, and got Doran a plate in top side, because they actually were able to get Viper and Delight into that lane before the push on the next minion wave. So it's pretty good macro here from Hanwha. The lane assignments are getting them incremental advantages.
That was dominant like earlier on in the year. You were thinking about Canyon on these AP junglers just power clearing, outpacing, setting this insane tempo where even if you can outplay Gen G, they just still have more money because they farm better, and it's just not the case here anymore.
But he hasn't really had an opportunity to get into any of these lanes, because where do you try and focus? You've no real setup in any of your lanes apart from Chovy, and Zeka's been doing fine with Peanut putting pressure on towards sides, and now at the Dragon Pit,
yeah, and he's got his experimental hex plate done, so I think we see his first ulti here.
Okay, Delight with a hex flash over the wall. Peanut. Glacial Prison onto the hands, but it ain't going to be a whole lot now. The lights go off. Paranoia goes in. Gen G with a kill on Peanut, and this is exactly what they needed. Zeka tries.
Ooh, Chovy, though. Did you guys see that? Watch Chovy here. Charms him. Dashes forward. He anticipates the actual flash and then ult over the wall. Uses his charge to get in front. Ooh, nice.
Gen G take Drake +2, and they ain't done yet. Keen still scrapping here back and forth as
nicely played by Chovy. He basically neutralized Zeka for the entirety of that fight.
Chovy spirit rushed over the wall into the way of the Fate Seal, so Zeka couldn't get over despite him flashing away. Really good stuff from the Gen G mid laner.
Zeka tried to predict that too. Like, he didn't use his ult over the wall because he knew that Chovy could spirit rush. He could use one of his ult charges to get in there.
So low, though. Can they
Yeah, Zeka immediately arrives, but now the turret is dead. Zeka goes in 1v3.
I mean, they just have no damage, really. Oh, actually, I didn't see base there. Never mind. They do.
The strongest champ in mid lane right now. It's not quite there as the tier 1 turret falls. Peanut now stepping into the river. Normally, I wouldn't even bother talking about Peanut doing that, but after last game, we saw some crazy stuff in the bottom side river, so I got to be careful with those.
Yeah, I mean, they still, Gen G, yeah, they get the advantage in the team fight, get the extra kill here. They get the bottom tower, more gold. They calls. Chovy goes to
economy snapshot. You can see a lot of the gold is actually on Lehens right now, but it is still Gen G are getting like good.
And Dragon, so Dragon extra ultimate ability haste with the experimental hexblade. His little Nocturne ultimate is ready again, so they go over to next objective, and we'll be able to.
Nocturne has to be tankier this game. And they really do need that ult uptime because they don't have a true tank on this team. So it is all about kind of deception and
Keen is going between worlds, but it's not enough. Delight can still just walk away.
Playing around these like ultimates. Like Gen G is very ult dependent between Nocturne Aurora and Renata Glass. Charlie O! Thank you for your 18 months of Twitch Prime. I appreciate you.
Even the wave not ready into position, so it doesn't get any work done off the back of that.
I hope you're enjoying Worlds.
Just about 16 minutes into the game, still only 3 kills on the board. Pretty low violence game here in our first one of this best of 3. 26,000 to 26.5 thousand gold, very, very close. Chovy retreating away as Hanwha sends more troops to back up Zeka, make sure he can force down this tier 1 turret.
They know how strong with 2 items in his back pocket this Yone can be, and a massive threat in fights, and especially when it comes towards side lane threat as well. He can threaten Keen, he can threaten Chovy, so as long as
Infernal Soul pretty crazy for Gen G though.
This game.
That are this mobile with double A.
If they can keep setting up around the Drake spawns.
Solo laners here with the Ari plus the Aurora.
There's no TP for Chovy though. They may just give this one up.
Harder for HLE in some of those. They always have to kind of check, is Canyon going to be hovering bottom?
Actually, Chovy's TP should be up in time.
And they really want to have structured battle lines so they can get their combos.
And the other thing that I always think about when I'm looking at Nocturne in a game,
there's no wards on Rel right now, though. It's going to be hard for them to take vision.
Play side lanes that like to split push like a Yone and a Gnar. Paranoia also stops your ability to see the ward and teleport to the ward, so you've got to be there to the objective fight sooner, as now the Herald driven into the tier 1 turret there by Canyon. Dorian has to flash back away, but Peanut's ready for the counter attack here with the Glacial Prison, but a nice follow-up comes in from Delight.
Good counter engage with the Renata ult.
It's already death for the support of Hanwha Life Esports.
Good timing on the Herald. Great kiting from Gen G. Good ult usage. Just go to Infernal. You can try and take mid turret later. It doesn't matter. All right, Gen G in a surprisingly good position, despite the fact that they're down in gold. They really are dictating the pace of this game.
How both of these teams, regardless of the different outcomes of the team fight, immediately just move on to the next step. Even though Hanwha are like, okay, fine, you know, that was a good flash and disengage from Lehens. You guys got the kill there. We are going to immediately transition to our next objective. We know you're going to be able to get Dragon number 3, but even though we lost, we're going to still try and get something out of it and try and salvage some sort of consolation prize.
Question, do you think Riot leadership has any ties to Scientology? There's all these rumors surrounding Linkin Park's new singer being a Scientologist, and it's weird that for their returning album, Riot Games is involved in their marketing scheme. Look, it wouldn't surprise me. If you told me Mark Merrill is a Scientologist, I would not be surprised. That guy is fucking weird. And he loves cults more than anything. Guys, look, all I have to say is, like, look into the charity that Mark Merrill is on the board of called City Year, which is like this weird nonprofit where a bunch of the reviews of people who have done it basically say that it's like a cult.
Is already pushed in that top side, so creating a point of contention.
So I've never heard of Scientology being involved with Riot, but Mark Merrill would be the likely culprit because he's like the cult leader who was the one who implemented all the weird cult shit into Riot's like company culture.
wave is gone before Zeki
So,
gets
if it was
there.
anybody,
Chobi's
it'd be
now
him.
drifted to
It'd be
somewhere else,
him.
and you're just constantly playing catch up as Hanwha right now.
And always, when you're looking at who's getting side lanes here, look where Canyon is. It's so efficient for Nocturne when he has the extra range from his ultimate, finishes up his Gromp while Chobi's finishing up the mid wave. They're covering their side that they still have their split pusher on, even though Hanwha can have members there. They're so confident with Ari.
Riot's so funny, man. You know, they prioritize culture fit, which means agreeing with their cult when they hire. And they force you to go through like 12 interviews with people who you won't even be working with to see if you are a culture fit. And then they literally have a program called de-noobification, which is like their cult initiation program. And they send you through in batches as they hire new employees. And then they like make you wear a Teemo hat to like haze you as a new employee and to let everyone else know that you're a new employee. It's fucking strange, man. Interesting. Well, my YouTube stream is still up. My YouTube stream is still up. Been discovered. YouTube Kings, raise your dongers. We're coming back, guys. Spirit Tracks NS. Thank you for your Twitch Prime sub. Scientologists are attacking. That's all right. We're back. Lack of Teemo hat. They don't want us knowing the program. Yeah, so they like make you wear a Teemo hat is what I was saying. They make you wear a Teemo hat, guys.
The possible moves
To like haze you.
want to make
It's
even
so
before they
stupid.
make them.
And that's the thing again, is where we just see that play of Nocturne covering bot to get Chobi into position. Well, Chobi then roams mid, they get the mid tower. And also respect from Pays, because this man is playing incredibly.
One time I was eating lunch. I was eating lunch at Riot HQ with the guy who is in charge of the denubification program. And I called him the Goebbels of Riot, and he just laughed and said, yeah.
Flashing cleanser for these fights.
Volgrim 14. Thank you for your Twitch Prime sub.
As long as I stay safe, this game we can win it out as Gen G, just playing at the map stays.
Yeah, so I'm so looking forward to this next big team fight, because HLE, like we said, they've constantly done things to grab money on the map back, even after, okay, you lose a little bit here in one of the fights, or someone, you know, does get picked off. They still have kept enough gold that they can definitely still fight the next big one, and that's really what's going to break it. Like, they even have.
You didn't mind wearing the Teemo hat that much, Crepo? You love the Teemo?
Like,
you love the Teemo
just
hat?
been insane. So we'll see what HLE can do on the next one. You have a lot of confidence in their setup. Wait a second. They're going to have to...
Yeah, Gen G's going after the Baron because they saw Hanwha try to make a play on Chovy down there in the bottom lane. So now they're just going to try to force the Baron instead. Chovy teleporting up to join the remaining 4 players on Gen G. The paranoia is there to stop an appropriate follow-up. The Baron is secured by Gen G, but now they got to try to get everybody else away. Kanan with the flashback over the wall. Hanwha can't
Pretty
do
good that Gen G
anything.
actually gets out here with everybody.
Gen G with the 400 IQ Baron rush, immediately recognizing the opportunity and jumping on it.
At the second they saw all those members down on bot side to look for the tower, Gen G knew they could take it. You have a Blade of the Rune King, Gwinsu's Varus, who will rip through the percentage health of that Baron buff, and it's a perfect call, even using the darkness again as a retreat tool, because you just don't know what's the health of
Lost
the
all
Baron,
my viewers.
how heavily can we engage? We don't know
Because
where
Twitch
Gen G are.
decided to screw up. By the way, my YouTube stream was fine, guys, so it wasn't a problem on my end. Shout out to Twitch, just severing my connection.
He says, all right, right, let's go for it. And everybody else starts up the play. Chovy even teleporting to join the rest of Gen G before going back to the base to heal up the 40% chunk that he took from Zeka in the bottom lane. They knew to full send it. They get everybody out safely. Beautifully done from Gen G now with 45 seconds left on the clock until what will be their Dragon Soul spawns. They've got Baron and control over the Rift.
Yeah, and you were just talking about how them being one step ahead of HLE on these moves is impactful. Like, that was a very big step. They know what your next move is going to be. They try and punish it and are able to actually fully finish off the Baron and then still rotate.
Is there a chance because as you are in Korea and Twitch isn't in Korea? No, that doesn't matter. You can stream to Twitch from Korea. You can even watch Twitch in Korea still. You just can't get paid in Korean won, which only matters like to a Korean bank account, which only matters if you're a Korean streamer. I also stream on a VPN to Japan.
Critical breaking point is about to approach. Again, HLE have at least kept up enough gold.
Oh, Keen jumping in there immediately with the Between Worlds. If they pick the enemy jungler, no way to contest.
Pick comp moving well for. Oh my God! Oh my God!
In there immediately with the Between Worlds. If they pick the enemy jungler, no.
Delight saw the angle, man. Oh, the Q flash. He hits a what 3-man stun into crash down. Holy shit! Into Yone ult. That is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. Man, Gen G had every Gen G had every advantage in this game. They do a good job of like using their ultimates just to completely destroy Peanut there. They lock him up with Aurora ult and then just keep him isolated with Nocturne ult and Charm. But then they just cluster up and Delight sees the angle, man. Starts, you know, he starts his Q animation, then flashes, then crash down. Amazing. And Lahens couldn't get the Renata ult off in time because he was stun locked. Into the Yone ult too. Beautiful. Beautiful combo. Holy shit. This could have been Soul here too, because remember that they get this pick. This is like a perfect situation for Gen G. Like, look at this game state. Jungler dead. You're on Soul point. 3 seconds. Like, you're covered by the Nocturne ult. They are literally moving towards Drake, and Delight and Zeka make the hero play.
Up enough gold.
The enemy jungler, no way to.
Dude, look how fast Delight makes this decision, by the way. Because Knock ult is up. He can't see shit, can't see shit, can't see shit, can't see shit. He can see again. And he takes about half a second after being able to see again to start his Q animation and decide to flash this. He processes this situation so quickly, man. That is crazy. He literally has like half a second to decide to make that play.
Nice macro, kids. How's this wombo combo taste? That was huge. Delight into Zeka, able to destroy them at HLE. That also denies the Dragon Soul. That was beautiful because Peanut panics.
Gen G trolling a bit, clumping like that? Yeah, maybe. But the thing about it is that, do you really think that's gonna happen? You kill their jungler and there's your Dragon Soul is spawning. That's so crazy.
The clutch moments for Hanwha have been where they've shown off this summer, and it's showing off once again on the world stage.
Man, Delight just sees that and goes for the fucking kill shot.
Steps the Renata ultimate, able to melt.
That's great.
Same, honestly, same.
Perfect facial expression.
That's a perfect meme. Another meme for the tournament, baby.
Team fight damage, man. Over 4,000 from Zeka. Nearly the same for Viper on his Kaisa. And now Hanwha Life, after it looked like they were about to
Engage King. I mean, what more can you say? Absolutely beautiful. And I always also love and give like extra bonus credit when you pull off an engage in those scenarios where you already just lost a member. But you know, if we just layer our abilities here, we're going to catch multiple and delete multiple enemy members. So even though we're down Peanut, which is supposed to be like the first line of the team comp, it doesn't matter.
But it was even like a reaction test, because the darkness comes off and he's like, oh, I got it. It was like immediately, it was like you know, you come off, the blindfold comes and you're like, okay, play this one out. What are you going to do?
It was just beautiful layering too, you know, stun into the full crash down, ultimate, Zeka is immediately following up, and now...
Yeah, Canyon, he'll try to use Paranoia defensively, but it's too late. Viper's already unstoppable. Gen G seeing if they might be able to get something back. A handshake on Delight is definitely not enough. As Hanwha Life Esports now with a 5v4 for the next 30 seconds.
Hanwha trying to show it wasn't a flash in the pan and silencing a lot of the doubters. I think Ox probably grinning from ear to ear as he looks again, because this has been a great performance from Hanwha, but we did call this when we saw
Jeff
the draft
P
from Gen G.
2662. Thanks you for your subscription. I forgot. I didn't hear the notification. Sorry. I was too mesmerized by Delight's incredible plays.
Into the full crash down, ultimate, Zeka is immediately following up, and now...
I mean, Canyon does spell shield the Sedge ult. But guess what? Kaisa ult is pretty good.
A handshake on Delight is definitely not enough. As
Hanwha just get to Yi.
I love Kaisa ult as an ability. It's so fun at the professional level. I love it in pick comps, man. It's just cool to see like Kaisa just like slide into a pick like that.
And now they've just got so much going to just funny more bad. Concerned. This playing it at every turn. Let's see. Can Gen G do something surprising here, though? They've got a lot of like surprise tools. We mentioned earlier the pick potential of Aurora Nocturne. That those plays up back into the game.
Oh, immediate jump, the pick on Chovy. You just
there it is again, man.
Out Gen G to get their pick now to try and get back into the game.
Oh, immediate jump, the pick on Chovy. You just see Viper
unnecessary TP, but
and then the infernal
Zeka's there for emotional support.
Of Chovy. Beautiful pick coming out from Hanwha. Baron is on the map. The enemy jungler dead for 40 seconds. Here's the problem if you're Gen G. Not only is that mid lane pick going to mean that the enemy squad gets
enemy
Baron,
jungler dead for 40
Chovy's
seconds? No.
Right before the
you see the super
Chovy's not a jungler.
Now another TP is about to show up for Hanwha. Doran has rejoined everybody else. Paranoia cast, a charm onto Delight, but he's the only one. Between Worlds has already been used. Doran here in the front line.
They have no ults now. The thing is, Gen G's very ult reliant, so when they don't have ults, they're just going to lose these fights.
Viper's going godlike. Gen G scrambling to fight back, but Zeka's too strong. Viper's too strong. Gen G's running towards the wrong base, and Doran's going to hit him with the wallop. Couple more auto attacks gets it done. Chovy's about to drop again.
Gen G played most of this game super well. It's just that one fight. Great play by Delight and Zeka. Fun game.
Here in our LCK.
All right, guys. I'm going to go pee. I'll be back. Any books in particular you look forward to reading with kids or giving them? Yeah, I mean, my son's only 4, but I've started to read like Alice in Wonderland and stuff. I'm looking forward to Treasure Island, man.
Finals rematch between Gen G and HLE. Now, the previous game was looking real good for Gen G for quite a while.
Are you going to watch Sonic 3? Fuck no. I will never watch any Sonic movie.
Solo queue play rate is about to go up tonight. Let's see how this second
catch someone and pop off, but
okay, we're back on the Jackson Smolder bands. Interesting. So we are gonna first pick Aurora. I mean, the Aurora was good in the last game. It did synergize well with their compositions.
We were talking about alongside the Nidalee and the Ziggs. You know, Kobe, coming from
gonna hook them up with the Muppet adaptation, dude. Yeah, Muppet Treasure Island is a banger, dude. Tim Curry rules.
From North America, where Nidalee is just nothing but a bait pick all the time. I have to remember when we get to these international competitions that, oh yeah, you really do have to ban this away from Kanye. Like, this is a real champion now.
Yes, you certainly do. And it is actually going to leave open another Vi combination here. So, again, similarly to the previous ones that we saw, it's like you go for an AP, like kill-oriented matchup with Vi. The Ahri, of course, is very popular. They're going to go AP.
Phantom Tollbooth. There's another one I'm looking forward to reading to him.
Spam picked even after the nerfs. Seems like nobody cares. On the other side, they actually instantly take away that Ahri possibility and pair it again themselves with the Nocturne.
This could set up for Zeka to go for Silas. It's always worked relatively well in towards the Ahri, and well, instead he's going to.
All right, we're doing it. Zeka Ahri, we're back into Zeka Akali. We're back into Akali Ahri matchups.
Zeka, to you there.
Interesting that Canyon is prioritizing the Nocturne so heavily in this series. They seem to just not want to fight the 5v5 straight up and just play for long-range picks. Like, it's basically the same comp again. I mean, it worked for them in game 1. They were so close to just getting soul and ending the game.
For this second match, and with HLE already having advantage in this series, like I'm feeling so much pressure for Gen G now, and we're not even done with the draft for game 2.
Yeah, and the interesting thing here for me is, although the sides are swapped.
All right, Muppet Christmas Carol. Yeah, it's a good one. The Michael Caine one. But there's a low-key movie that if you guys haven't seen, which is the 1970s Scrooge movie. So I hate musicals, and it is a musical, and the music does big suck. Like, the music is not, it's not only a musical, which I hate the genre of, but the music is also just bad. But Sir Alec Guinness is in that movie. And him as a ghost is amazing. And also Albert Finney, because you have to remember, Albert Finney was young in the 70s, and he does an insane job playing Scrooge.
Gen G's running it back from game 1, right? Like, you look at the 3 champions that they've picked, we're doing the exact same stuff. Meanwhile, on Hanwha Life, everything's looking a little bit different here.
Yeah, I do like the Renata ban, though, because that was kind of clutch in a lot of games where it was going to be, hey, we can dissuade you from that big dive, which you can already see Hanwha setting up for. So I'm curious if we get the Ezreal and the Kai'Sa ban now coming through on towards Viper just to deny that easy.
Yes, I do hate
off,
musicals.
Then it becomes a case of what do you want to try and take into that AD carry position when so many of those easy self-reliant champions are removed from the pool.
All right, Renata, Xayah banned away, Ezreal banned away. Remember that Ezreal was also.
But as we learned on Foreplay, the real great Christmas movie is Tokyo Godfathers by Satoshi Kon. The Japanese are better at making anime Christmas movies than we are making Christmas movies. Would you still take the Varus if you're Gen G? No, I would not take the Varus into Rumble Akali Vi. That seems like a questionable decision.
Yeah, Viper's been scary. All right, Kai'Sa and win the entire fight. Viper's definitely drawn.
I'm still imagining something like an Alistar, probably 4 Lehens, and maybe you just.
And since we're already on the last pick, we know that there's no place for silence.
Is a lot of.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what are we taking here, Leona? They just need more pick potential and engage. Gonna try and win hard in the bot side.
Have their real
Rel? Yeah, it's Jhin Rel.
So always on the last game.
So does that mean? Let me ask you this, gentlemen. We'll just be direct about it. Did Hanwha win draft?
I don't think it's that big of a difference. favorably.
Spot because it did definitely
Did go the distance all the way to game number 5. We'll see if Gen G can take us all the way to the 3rd game here in this one, or if Hanwha is going to be our
Albert
second
Finney,
team
like,
heading to Paris.
super underrated actor, in my opinion.
Success that LNG just had
Super
with the
underrated actor.
2-0. Gen G invading enemy jungle here, going to force Peanut back.
He's so good in
Let
Big
NZ
Fish and
King step
Skyfall
forward into
as
the
well.
chicken brush. Looks like Hanwha Life not super interested in this.
Yeah, nice full jungle takeover there for Gen G to be able to suss
He's so
out
good in
any,
Big Fish.
Early spread play here from HLE, but HLE, ooh, quite gets it. Okay.
Big Fish might
Just
also
find the
be
ward.
Tim Burton's only good movie after 2000. Because Sleepy Hollow was good. What did he do after 2000? Planet of the Apes, Big Fish, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Corpse Bride, Sweeney Todd. The Sweeney Todd version was pretty good, I gotta say. Alice in Wonderland, Dark Shadows, Frankenweenie, Big Eyes, Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, and Dumbo. I haven't seen a bunch of these. Guys, was Beetlejuice good? Did anybody see it? Because here's the thing, guys. I love Michael Keaton. I love Michael Keaton. It's bad on principle. There's 2 actors I have a weird weakness for. It's Sam Neill and Michael Keaton. I love them both irrationally.
On World Patch 2, the wards still give a little bit of experience. So nice little boost there for Zeka plus the bottom lane. And the ward left behind on the red buff here by Gen G will suss out that it is going to be bot side start for Peanut. And Vi also, kind of like Nocturne, is almost
Edward
always
thinks it
gonna
was a
go
cringe
for
fest.
the full clears unless, like our first series of the day, you have a specific matchup that has CC in it that is going to bring you there. It was a beautiful, deviation from normal play to go up there, play off of the Renekton stun, and get it. But should just be full clears for both junglers to opposite sides.
The only argument I have against it is if Peanut wants to try and get in towards that top side to maybe burn a flash from Keen and help out Doran. But I mean, you can see at the bottom of your screen how very dominant Gen G has been in this matchup domestically. So Hanwha looking to really upset the apple cart once again here on the world stage.
Yeah, I mean, Hanwha put a stop to the early talk of Gen G talking about their golden road even. You know, really big combo breaker here. That Hanwha were able to pull off in finals, and they're not stopping. They want to do it at Worlds as well.
Birdman was probably Michael Keaton's best performance. Birdman is a fucking banger. I love Birdman.
Hanwha were able to pull off in finals, and they're not stopping. They want to do it at Worlds as well, with already being a game.
Event Horizon was hilarious to watch. It's so bad.
We're talking about the past right now. I am just so
Where
much
we're
loving the
going, we
present
won't
because
need
there's no
eyes
lane
to
swap.
see.
That is.
I wish I didn't have
always a
eyes to see
here
D+
again,
playing
Modern
League of Legends.
As once again, our reminder, Mercedes featured matchup. The mid lane, Chovy versus Zeka, the Ahri. Last time around, the Yone reigned supreme, as he has done in most matchups so far in Worlds. This time around, Ahri versus Akali.
And sorry to take you to the past again, Flowers, but that featured matchup does have roots in semifinals of Worlds, and Zeka taking us back here with the Akali as well, back to when he did get the World Championship for himself. Of course, the early stages against Chovy's Ahri are going to be a little bit difficult, getting pushed in a bunch, and the Ahri also going the Grass Spear, stacking that up.
Ooh, Doran with the flash, but Keen immediately flashing back away as Peanut was going.
Do you have any faith in Henry Cavill, Amazon's Warhammer series? Oh, I hope it's good, guys. I hope it's good. Wasn't it? Isn't it in like development hell though?
Potential from Doran if you do land an electric harpoon on towards Keen, but just flash for flash burn to that top side, and you still got Peanut who's just going to look for the reset now. But I do want to go back towards the conversation because I think Zeka 2022 we look and go, oh well, it was like Akali's and Silas's in the meta, and that's why Zeka really popped off. But
yeah, it looks like it's in development hell. It's in limbo. Apparently Games Workshop and Amazon have to agree on creative guidelines.
This guy has come in as an all-rounder.
They have until December of this year to agree, or it's not going to happen.
Mid laner that you always have to fear.
Hens backing up a little bit here as Delight found that shattering strike on him, but HLE pretty much undeterred down here in the bottom lane Farm Fest.
So nice little pings too. You can always see Gen G tracking enemy jungle. Of course, they know it was bot side clear for Peanut, and it was going to be very standard for Vive, but it was perfect timing there. You see the blue ping immediately on.
I think Denzel Washington might be my Michael Keaton, or he just that good. I mean, Denzel Washington is among the greatest living actors, so it's a pretty good choice.
Knows, hey, you know, it's a possible hover there.
So that guy is an immense actor.
Want to do anything crazy right now to draw any extra attention, and it kind of keeps that semi-timer on enemy jungle so that you know where he's going to go in the future.
The Hens with the engage on Viper, forcing out the cleanse, dropping the ignite on him as well. Viper can walk off without needing to use the flash, but he is pretty hurt now from the aggro of Gen G here in this bottom lane. The power of Kalista with any sort of an aggressive support is always scary in these early duels.
I think that also sets up then for them to start to look for a rotation here, because you push in bot, you've just seen it there, they can rotate up towards these early void.
What do you think of Denzel playing Hannibal? I think it's terrible. I think it's terrible. So I really like Hannibal as a historic figure. All right. But there's a lot wrong with that. So first off, one of the problems with Denzel is he's just too old. Like Hannibal was like in his 30s. And Denzel's like 60, so he's too old. And like part of the cool thing about Hannibal was he was pretty young when he was Hannibaling all around Italy. Second off, Hannibal, so the Carthaginians are Phoenicians, right? They are from the Levant. They're like, yes, Carthage was in North Africa, but like Hannibal wasn't black, guys. You know what I mean? And also, he's from Spain.
White grubs too, and Keen should be able to push out.
So I think it's weird both for like the age and the like historic authenticity.
Especially when you can play heavily through all three lanes. Void grubs become so nice for turret takes, but Delight caught. Just gotta step away.
Yep, he's fine.
Meanwhile, the mid lane matchup that we were just looking at, and I like how the analyst has touched on how good Zeka is, especially in the early stages of the
like you know, the Carthaginians, it was a Phoenician colony, guys. Like they're from Lebanon.
Versus range matchups.
You know what I mean?
Quite nicely with his CS
from Lebanon.
On the Yone, and also was trying to keep up pretty well here on the Akali. A little bit difficult, of course, and taking a slight deficit, but
so clearly they should cast Antonio Banderas.
Still getting back to lane, and
that's what I learned from the 13th Warrior.
Where Akali finally does, you know, have some possibilities of joining some of these fights. Where Peanut's actually trying to sneak.
Have I seen Aronofsky's The Fountain? Yes, I love The Fountain.
One of these grubs real quick. Yep. Grabs one
Fountain, one of the all-time underrated movies.
Smite, by the way, which is so key for the first grub pack. I don't
Thorin loves it too, so it'll be on foreplay eventually for sure.
Steal one away, but sometimes you can kind of wrap.
The crazy thing about The Fountain is I watched that movie, and in it, so I did a Guatemalan Mayan adulthood initiation for a year, right? And I heard some of the stories that are in The Fountain, the Mayan stories, that were told to me verbally. And to my knowledge, those stories had never been like recorded before. So when I first saw The Fountain, I was shocked to hear some of the stories in that, because they were only told to me via like oral tradition storytelling. And what I found out later was that Aronofsky was actually in the school of the shaman who ran my initiation. And so he must have heard them there and then put them into the movie.
trying to steal one away, see if enemy jungler use their smite, but he's not even going to go check. The job is done. You just need one, again, out of the first pack to put the threat of 4 on second pack.
And I think he's just going to move down over.
That was a weird mindfuck for me, and only me.
They know that FaZe has just gone for the reset themselves, so they're just going to match Zeka. Goes aggressive on towards Chovy.
Yeah, using that smoke screen to continue pushing forward, but with Lehens and Delight both joining in. Now Zeka's got to try to be a little bit more careful. Perfect execution to get himself back away to the safety of his own turret. But Akali now with half HP and no flash will not feel confident trying to go down and join this fight for the Drake. So that means Peanuts just got to give it up as Gen G walks their troops in and secures this objective.
That is so massive for Gen G, and big credit to
a little bit more careful.
So they're just going to match Zeka. Goes aggressive on towards Chovy.
Yeah, using that smoke.
Nice charm.
Continue pushing forward, but with Lehens and
Good positioning from Lehens. Actually forces the flash. Still gets the Q down. Still gets the E down.
Perfect execution to get himself back away to the safety of
Really good to blow those abilities right when you're able to take the Drake. Seizing the mid prio, so you get 2 grubs and you get Drake. That's really huge.
That is so massive for Gen G, and big credit to Lehens for positioning and timing and being there to be able to get Zeka's ult on the Akali plus the flash. Means you now don't really have to worry about any of the early burst damage and early possibilities of even getting money to snowball into the Ahri. Plus, you chase them off the objective trade there. They get the extra grub as well as the dragon. Thanks for the leash, Mr. Peanut. But they already got mid-priority first, and mid-priority very, very, very frequently does translate into those neutral objectives.
I'm getting handed
so
apples.
Nicely kind of cascaded
Apple
from
delivery.
mid-lane by Gen G here to once again.
Have I recorded any videos from the next 4-play arc? No, not yet. But we're doing deep cuts of scary movies. We decided that the viewership was getting too good and that we had to do some weird shit so nobody would watch it again.
Ability to be in the right place at the right time, catching out so many members of the enemy team, like wrapping around the back of that Baron pit to set up so many of these early engages and get Gen G into that strong point, but might need to double check himself.
Okay, Lehens trying to get back away from this one. Shattering strike, not connecting there. Lehens doing a good job staying just slightly above the hitbox.
Learned from the last game.
I love a little perfect sidestep there. Able to avoid as well. So honestly, very nice stuff here again in the opening session for Gen G. As far as the objectives are controlled. Canyon again farming here on the Nocturne, trying to get up to his experimental hexplate as quickly as possible, trying to hit that breakpoint just before the next dragon, and seems to be on pace.
All right, still pretty calm early game, similar to last time around. The team's just not interested in all the PvP angles, instead just farming it up, getting to the point where they feel like they're better suited to find some of those bigger fights, I would suppose. Gen G with a nice early lead, though, about 800 gold or so.
But that's what we are kind of expecting from Gen G coming into this fight. You have 3 pushing lanes, just let them do their thing and start to get these lane advantages, and you can see the CS numbers are coming through for them in every single lane with those advantages. So just take it slow, play for push, play for void grubs, reset, come back out, then use those void grubs to threaten. Has this Vi, has the...
And that's something that we want time to make sure that Gen G doesn't build this lead up into something that's too formidable to make it work out the way they want it to work out, to be able to just have the advantage off of the angle and the extra timing alone of getting that engage that you need. Zeka continuing to farm up here in the mid lane. You really want to see that Akali hit his big first item spike as well, being the melee champion, being the assassin. Very important to not fall behind.
And I really want to highlight all of the vision work that Gen G do. It's so such a good setup here for the second pack.
All right, let's see how these grubs do.
We know there's going to be emphasis on those grubs. The desync timer there with the dragon. They've got fully warded up behind and leading to it. Plus, they have the mid lane control, so it's just like
hard to play into this around
nice
Nocturne 6.
To again secure a lot of these early objectives for them.
Pay's doing the smart thing and just preventing any counterplay. Just give up.
At least
it's worth to give up the plates here.
Themselves, probably 5, since nobody is heading over for HLE. And HLE, once again, trying to do...
Because you hadn't given up any plates in the bot side, so you can get grubs here and now make a play around Drake, push out.
Turret plate money bottom.
So Lehens went up to go ahead and cover for the grubs, and now he's back, so I got 2 plates. But they'll probably get 2 plates from these grubs anyway.
And then you can just start to look for, hey, Dragon's up in a minute's time. Okay, let's, well, steal away some camps as Canyon, but then reset, back out of the map, threaten a potential tower in mid, and you're always playing on the back foot here as Hanwha because of the 3 pushing lanes.
Yeah, especially because later into the game, the extra grub with the Void Might there spawning is really going to help out the double AP splitting with the threat of the Nocturne covering, so they can try and seamlessly transition into that game plan as well much later into the game.
I haven't watched Three Body Problem from the Game of Thrones do yet. Doe and I did a review of it on Nerd Legion on the LFN Culture channel. It's okay. The video game sequences are cool. There is one episode that's really memorable with the container ship in the Panama Canal. If you know, you know. It's okay.
Try and set himself up with a good position to engage.
Hanwha could try and go for some sort of cross mop, but I'm kind of keep my eyes on Delight because it feels like he's going to be the...
Like, they definitely westernized it. Because they changed the focus, so it's like a bunch of students from Oxford.
...the points the direction that they want to go. You do have already opening up a mid for Viper, but with Peanut on bottom side, it looks like
I haven't read the novel, but I understand it's far less Chinese than the novel is, because they changed the focus to the West to appeal to Western audiences.
It's an easy second Drake for Gen G. 5 grubs to 1, 2 Drakes to 0. A very, very modest gold lead, but still, everything in the first 12.5 minutes of the game is going their way, still with 0 kills for either side on the board, as Gen G now with a 3-man push in the bottom lane, looking to mine some more plate money away, as Zeka's already in the smoke, but with that defensive cooldown used with Solar Flare, fine. G now with a 3-man push in the bottom lane, looking to mine some more. That's a second Drake for Gen G. 5 grubs to 1, 2 Drakes to 0.
Zeka needs to back off of this tower. This is crazy that he's still here. Like, they know that they just took Drake, and Aurora has TP, and they don't see Aurora. Look how well Gen G is playing back, though. You'll notice that every time they're making an objective play, on the opposite side of the map, they're playing very far back to prevent dives. So they're really, really just pushing the power. Like, they're really just playing around Canyon this game.
Looking to mine some more plate money away, as Zeka's already in the smoke, but with that defensive cooldown used with Solar Flare finding him, it's such an easy first blood for
And you'll also notice that Hanwha is not doing that, and they're TPing in on this play.
Back over the wall from Peanut, while Doran can't find the kill on Chovy. Hanwha thought they might have seen a counterpunch there, but Gen G.
What software do I use to draw over my screen? Epic Pen.
Down Zeka in that shroud. Peanut steps forward.
Oh, hold on now. Between worlds, Peanut could be in a little bit of trouble, but Viper's coming down to look to help him. Doran with a flame spitter, but instead, it's just another death. This time for Peanut. Delight wants to go in. Lehenge finally drops. Viper gets the kill, and the curtains are called. Keen sniped down again. A double kill back over to Viper. Zeka shows up. The cavalry has arrived, and Gen G overstays their welcome.
Gen G got duped. They thought they were the ones with the advantage, trying to push through, seeing if they get just a smidgen more of those kills in their favor. But it's actually
cold. Flame spitter, but instead it's just
Gen G doesn't need to go for this play, by the way.
Delight wants to go in. Lehenge finally drops. Viper gets
They actually are just accomplishing all of their goals and getting every objective in this game. They can afford to play this very patiently. That's silly. They also disrespect the fact that Zeka is going to respawn with TP.
Overstays their welcome.
Gen G got duped. They thought they were the ones with the advantage, trying to push through, seeing if they get just a smidgen more of those kills in their favor. But it's actually Hanwha, whoever to turn it around, with some great shots raining down from Viper.
Yeah, I mean, Gen G win the first fight and come out so ahead, and they even are like, oh great, we got another follow-up pick. But they have to call it just after that, you know. Lehenge goes in, and they actually flash away to avoid.
This is so silly.
Viper getting a double kill off this could be problematic, but even
when
Zeka,
they know they still have Jin ult and Zeka's going to TP back in.
On the tower dive, also gets gold at the end of this super long extended. I love this guy.
I love his reactions.
The coach reactions are so good.
Zeka still getting some money though at the end of that, and Zeka actually had a ring as well. So a couple extra stacks there on the Dark Seal.
I think as well, the fact that Pina had Sunder Sky completed was huge because they try to burst him out and he just gets the shield off of his passive and the Sunder Skies proc, which makes it really difficult to take him down and just buys that little bit of extra time. But this is still a Gen G favored map, and the Mascot lane economy snapshot showing that Viper with that static shiv very far ahead of Pays, but how much can this Jin do against the onslaught of Gen G?
All right, here comes the Rift Herald. The Herald alone won't be able to kill the turret, but a Demolish proc plus a charge, that is the end of the road for the tier 1 turret.
I mean, that 5 grubs is definitely going down. I just take it, zone out, just take the Herald out. Transfer to bot lane. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Oh, nicely done by Lehens. Ooh, sexy macro. That's a macro blast. Love to see it.
Lehens is such a Chad. Holy! 5-head driving through enemy jungle to get the back door on the bot turret there, takes it, gets out alive, extra bonus objective there. Now that's what you call efficiency.
That's how you drive a Rift Herald, man. When they first made this change in the game, we saw so many people wreck the Herald into a wall or drive it a little bit silly. Everybody's got their license now. Everybody knows how to drive this thing, and Lehens might as well be a professional at it. This guy knows how to maneuver that Herald through enemy territory. Gen G still though here. It's still so close.
I think upside.
He's fine. He's chilling. He's Leon. Of Chovy right next to him. Hanwha going to take the opportunity, just get this mid lane shoved up. Oh, unlucky for Jin. Deadly Flourish missed just by a sliver. But team fight
For a kill, his
now HLE has all 5 players here in the bot side river. They know that Gen G took the first 2 Drakes. They don't want to give them the sole point, not on an Infernal map especially. So now HLE overloading this part of the map means they're going to secure the Drake, and Gen G are saying, fine, take it. They want to go and trade the tier 2 turret back in the mid lane at the same time, but it ain't going to work out so well as Lehens tries to get away, but he's locked up, beat down, finally saved by Pays, who uses
out of the Jin ult too.
Turret back in the mid lane at the same time, but it ain't going to work out so well as the
Gotta love Callisto ult. Just using literally everything. Rumble ult, Jin ult.
Uses that Callisto ultimate to keep his team
everything straight onto him. Oh, Zeka goes in and dies.
Saved by Pays, who
uses Zeka.
Callisto ultimate to keep his teammate around. Zeka goes in.
Pays just flashes into pit. Lehens is already E'd onto him. That's so funny.
Perfect enough. Zeka just barely misses the damage and throws his own life away.
They thought that with the
Well, they just split push and take top. All right, HLE's cooked, guys.
Try to trade for mid turret, but the overextension from Zeka, hoping to get a couple more kills, ends up just gifting one back to Gen G and sets them up for the top lane tower as well.
And those are the benefits of really quickly moving on to the next objective. You know, Gen G are like, all right, fine, we don't have an Nocturne ultimate, we're not going to chase you, we're not going to mess around with you at Dragon. They immediately went mid lane to push on mid lane, and then as soon as the rest of HLE are rotating over, they kite backwards, and even with it getting a little dicey, Lehens taking a large amount of damage before the Callisto.
30 points to do the same level of rushing on a Baron.
This could be another just total Gen G roll here of Hanwha in the early game if they hadn't made that mistake over pursuing in the bot side.
Canyon is just kind of babysitting Chovy a little bit as he for the next 3 minutes.
Gen G with all of those goals in the show, it's and making it further and further ahead.
And again, in this game, setting themselves up so ahead in the objective area. Now, someone just needs to message them, hey, don't group up in front of Delight, even if you get a kill.
Remember, Rel is in the game.
Just remember, don't get jumped on there. And as long as you're able to do that and leverage the tools that you got to be able to get here.
I think even guys, moments of
it's like 14, you've got put in a spot where you can just get exploded.
All right, they're fighting the good fight, trying to clear out some of the extra vision leading up, trying to retake their own.
What are your thoughts on TSM leaving the LCS to join the EU LCS?
Delight is able to do it, even finally gets
Did that happen?
the Baron. I mean, for the majority
I don't think that's going to happen, guys.
Gen G was credited as being the best
I think TSM is
in the
donezo.
entire world, and they're still just continually setting themselves up for success.
And I think his little understandings of how they can get those advantages, even looking at Pay's build, he's gone for this lethality Callista, which is all for I get push on mid wave and I cleared these waves very quickly, but less of a massive threat when it comes towards these teams.
The rel, the vibe, but there's a lot of very, very viable kill targets, even on both teams. So let's look at this.
Good riddance.
Once again, always spot delight.
I say we put TSM in the Phantom Zone and eject them into space like Superman 2.
So let's look at the setup here once again. Always spot delight.
Chuck Reggie in there too.
Zeka setting up for maybe a pincer attack here. Delight's going to be stunned up at the very start of the fight. He tries to get away, but
always spot delight. Lehens chases him out.
Zeka,
Nocturne is shockingly effective for Gen G because they're doing such a good job with their engages. Look at that. So they get so much damage down, and then they take away vision, so Peanut and Doran just can't ult.
He tries to get away, but he's sent into the fear. He's sent into the graveyard. Canyon grabbing the first kill there as now he has to disengage. Hanwha Life have already lost
clean
their clutch factor. They have no way to try to approach this fight now.
Yeah, actually so smart. Lehens just runs straight at Delight. They push him out of the brush. Immediate Nocturne ultimate. They immediately jump on him and take away all that possibility of the setup. Beautiful stuff here from Gen G to even get themselves to a soul point pretty quickly into the game, considering they gave up one of the Infernal Dragons and they're not even done.
Ooh, Doran with the flash over the wall to try to escape, but as soon as that summoner spell is down, Aurora's going between worlds, and Doran is trying to get all the way back to safety. Peanut down to 100 HP. Pays jumps forward with a beautiful shot from the Pierce to take him down.
Doran didn't realize he was backing on a ward and didn't want to blow that summoner spell early because Flash is the only way he can get out of that Aurora ult. And as soon as he does, King picks him off. And they
trying to find the Phantom Zone scene.
Turn on to Peanut to actually finish off the jungler from Hanwha instead.
Gen G looking good
here
here
it
in the
is.
second game. Now on Soul Point in 4 minutes. An infernal soul threat on this. You're talking about every single time there's one of those big in HLE not being able to respond to Gen G.
And we've got some, pretty big goals.
Really good control from Gen G this game, guys.
Layering up here on Gen G. Mid and jungle looking quite nice here. Chovy is back.
Also, with all the drama, people, it may not matter what TSM wants. Why would Riot, after having all that bullshit with Reggie, want TSM back in the scene? You know what I mean? Like, the question is, do you really want to deal with Reggie again? His fan base was entirely NA. Why would we want them back if it's like fucking Europe or China or some shit?
One of the objectives to get themselves back into this game if they are going to do so, and they don't have a lot of time to do that with.
Right. Deadly Flourish only hits the hens. Not really that big of a deal. Peanut now jumping in for a little bit more. Pays could get caught out. Popping the Clan's trying to get away to the blast cone. Pays still alive for now. They're trying to dive into him. They finally get the shutdown, but now Zeka's got to be careful. Equalizer comes down over the top. Chovy trying to escape.
All right, good equalizer.
Flip ain't gonna find the target. Chovy gets away between worlds coming down here for Gen G. Double go back over to Canyon. It's
about all they're going to get, though. 2 for 2 is about all you can hope for. If they even get 2 for 2 here.
Trying to get away. Canyon with the flash in for the fear. And Keen won't let him get out. The weirding just puts him into the dirt as a TP puts Gen G right back in a spot for more objectives, more gold, and more of a lead against Hanwha.
Hanwha committed so much to try and make hit, then goes forward on towards Pays, but Zeka goes over the wall, misses his shuriken flip, so doesn't immediately get back onto Pays. Has to use the perfect execution to get back into the fight, and then just doesn't have a huge amount of damage to try and finish this off. The equalizer does a lot of work, but Keen is able to focus down the light. Viper is playing catch up this whole fight, trying to see if he can get into position. But with Canyon and Keen there, he just can't really get the damage off he wants to.
And then Gen G punished so quickly. Nice response from them. They even got an objective in addition to chasing down the extra kill.
Gen G, 4,000 gold ahead, minute by minute. Lehens unafraid to walk up and set that ward down. As you can see, HLE again forced back, trying to defend the tier 2.
Delight trying to hide on the bush there at the back. You can see Chovy was checking it with all of his spells, but doesn't quite hit. But eventually they get the ward down. Delight has to back away.
Thank you very much, Papa Stiffy,
In this top side,
for your gift sub. That is quite a name. That is quite a name.
And with Dragon in 50 seconds, you've already got the control you need as Gen G to pick up that soul for yourself. Hanwha desperately needs something. Maybe that Infinity Edge for Viper is enough, but they need so much to work in their favor in this next fight.
Well, let me remind you of a game state just an hour ago where Gen G was poised to essentially lock the game in for themselves. They had a great pick, they were heading towards the soul, and then Delight changed the entire momentum of the game. I feel like if you're Gen G right now,
All right, well, surely that can't happen again, right?
No, they need this approach to be clean with 15
Like, literally,
seconds
they
left
have
on the timer
total vision
before
control
that
of
soul
every
spawns.
objective in this game. They can turn out the lights with Nocturne. There we go. Kind of a waste, actually.
Solar flare lands. They found a lot of damage under the light.
Never mind, they just CC Delight. Pays gets ulted. He does die, but killing Callista doesn't have a lot of value. All right, that's it. End of this game.
But again, Gen G, Nocturne lights out. Leona ult.
Nice Leona ult. Dude, the Leona ults, the Lehens has been on point this game. He's been locking down Akali, making these engages, landing the stuns on every Leona ult.
It's also just keen on the back line. He put so much threat.
It also just doesn't matter if you kill Pays because he's a late game Callista now. Ari and Aurora are much more threatening.
To going back towards him, and you can see he never gets opened up with the curtain call. That's how that Jhin is supposed to operate in this composition.
Yeah.
Everyone goes forward.
Pays actually absorbing the Vial is probably a good thing.
Afar, but it's keen putting that pressure, disrupting the Hanwha game plan.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of value out of the Aurora pick. Plus, this time around, Gen G, in order to enact this game plan, did not give away the Yone. So the Yone card is also not in the game.
Very important card.
Since you know their desperation meter is just like through the roof now.
Yeah.
Kind of
Sitting.
All right, this game is big over.
Has some miracle play.
This is what should have happened last game too.
Force anything.
Slow, methodical pace from Gen G, where it's a death by 1,000 cuts, and now those cuts continue.
Lost Lehens, they might have lost Canyon, but they a little bit more damage, and Delight tried.
Pace from Gen G, where it's a death by
Notice how they actually spread out this time. Their only coaching note from Mata was just spread out, guys.
The dive is ready to go in. Delight tries to make the miracle happen.
Well,
but Gen G are not
they Vi-ulted a Nocturne, who had already used ult.
A little bit more damage would get it done,
and
finally the burn
Ignite
seals the deal. Gen G, they might have lost
gets the kill.
They might have lost Canyon, but they get the tier 2.
I didn't notice this. This is great, guys. He literally bought Axiom Arc on Callista. He did it.
Turret. They get
His only purpose is saving Lehens.
even with the tower there, they'll go straight through the front line.
It's such a good idea, actually. Like, look at this. Hexplate, Axiom Arc, boom. They're just ult bots. So once their ults are used, it doesn't matter if they die or not, because Keen and Chovy can just clean up everybody.
Where it's a death by 1,000 cuts, and now those cuts
That's so funny.
down as you're underneath the tower.
There it goes. The dive is ready to go in. Delight tries to make the miracle happen.
Lehens is the real hero of this game.
Not believers here today. Doran getting dove by Lehens. A little bit more damage would get it done, and finally the burn seals the deal. Gen G, they might have lost Lehens. They might have lost Canyon, but
The towers, they actually got them both with the weird. As soon as he's on his
His expressions are just fantastic.
and actually finishes off the extra kill onto Doran, they are still able to move forward with it.
Helper's so funny.
it's really great.
I kind of forget about the game as soon as he pops up, because like, oh, what's gonna happen?
Base's build. Opportunity, Edge of Night, Axiom Arc, GA. This guy is literally just here to absorb damage and use his ult. His purpose is to allow Lehens to go in and then to pull him back out.
Oh, what's it gonna be this time? Whether they're winning or losing, whatever's happening. All right, we've got 10 seconds left on our Red
Like,
Bull
killing
Bear
this
power play
Kalista
here.
is
It's
irrelevant. This Kalista does
3,500
nothing
for Gen G,
besides
which is a
remove
really
Lahens
solid
from an
game
engage.
for that objective, and now it's sub 2 minutes until the Elder spawns. I feel like if you're HLE, this is it for Gen G.
I mean, we all expect Gen G to finish out this game and to win, but if you are on comms on the side of HLE, I would try and proffer the idea of Peanut go in front of Delight, because Peanut is Vi and you can use your ultimate to actually still get the engage and go immune. Even if they go on you, you can try and immune some of their CC, but Peanut really has to step in front of Delight, I feel like, to be the first layer of it, because fight after fight after fight, Gen G are just taking out the Rel before Rel gets to have any sort of effect. And so even though your chances are very low and you're so far behind, you're out itemized, I think you have to try and like immune the go from Gen G to try and get your own opening.
Sure, but guys, we have a problem. There is a loss. That's
So what you're telling me is to go for the one that doesn't have an immunity?
Yeah, kill
So
the hens and just fingers crossed. Hopefully it's the best.
All right,
'Cause everyone
Rocket
else is coming back.
Redemption Leona. That's the target. Okay. That's the name of the game. Well,
I don't think Gen G has played spectacularly yet. I don't know. These last two games have been really good games by Gen G, guys. It's not that they're making amazing plays, but it's just the level of control they've had. Even in the game they lost last time, they should not have lost that game. They outplayed them for like all of the game up until Delight's like miracle engage.
Oh, Lahens immediately with a flash.
But this has been really a beatdown. And it's not as though like they've had the most amazing team fights or they've had huge gold leads. It's just their level of control. They're just tightening the grip around your neck very slowly. But they've dictated the entire pace of this game. You know, they haven't been giving any cross-map opportunities while they've done objectives. It's been really good. I think they played really well.
And now we get to showcase exactly what these two teams are capable of.
And we all expect them to, being back on red side now, to make the small adjustment of actually banning out
like Gen G won't even let you make counterplays. They're just so aware of what's going on.
They should have the momentum. They should have the upper hand, but HLE have...
Okay, HLE selects blue side.
Well, we've got the Skarner and
Yone actually banned this game, so we take Smolder first. This is what I think should have happened the first game is you, like, I don't know. I think you leave up both Yone and Smolder. Because Chovy can play Smolder into Yone, it's fine. Aurora's still up. Keen probably going to get that one again. Literally the same. It's literally just the same 3 picks. And why not? They've been destroying Hanwha with these picks.
Threat or setup. I think you end up in a...
Yep, get rid of Ezreal Kaisa.
But they already have this.
They're just running back the same comp, I guess.
We already know how effective.
Big hit in here.
What?
For them, because then you have this
Oh my god.
For actually dealing with the dive, but
Mata's back, dude. He's like, yo, Imp used to play Twitch. You're gonna play Twitch, Pays. It's actually a really good pick here. Probably lane swap it, but I mean, Aurora ults plus spray and pray, or Nocturne ult plus spray and pray. The wombo combo is crazy.
They kept their big hit in here for the end, and we're gonna have the Twitch range coming in.
First Twitch of the tournament.
You get the sneaky Twitch plays in addition.
Look at Smolder's stupid fucking face, dude.
To the map control that Gen G have been able to set themselves up with, and the coverage of a Nocturne.
Does he play Imp's Twitch skin? That's the real question.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. The fact that you've got the invisibility of the Twitch and then this long-range engage coming through from the Nocturne, plus even an Ahri, the potential for the invisibility from the Aurora. This is a horrible game to try and play against this comp from Gen G. But I will say it gives less control to Gen G when it comes to the mid lane.
The wombo of Aurora ult plus Twitch must be crazy.
So I think you have a bit of
like,
an answer here for Hanwha to...
The engage, the long range engage, like Twitch is just invisible, and then all of a sudden because Twitch will be able to see a target and therefore get a target for Nocturne ult, And then you can just Ari ult in. This is really scary. I like the Twitch here. It's probably shit in lane, so I imagine they're lane swapping, but
give away too much now. Pays Forest that we're going to get, maybe, but I don't think you want to hype.
you wouldn't want to play against Varus Renata, I think, but you absolutely can just lane swap it, which is what they're going to do.
Start both of them just on their own, quote-unquote own Raptor side of the map, with top side there for Gen G being their control with the duo. And again, they have done the normal supports mid here to get their level 2 top laners with their AD carries.
I do think, though, that the introduction of Smolder into the mix here has kind of put a bit of a timer on towards Gen G. Like, yes, Twitch has great scaling, but I do think this Smolder just pops off so well in the later portion of the game, especially with the...
I mean, I understand what Dagda's trying to say, but how does Smolder stay alive? Right? How does Smolder stay alive versus Nocturne Ari Twitch? He's just going to die.
You need something to go your way early to maybe even set a pace to turn into this assassination Twitch instead. Otherwise, I think in that mega late game, I do favor Hanwha in this situation. And when Gen G were playing so slow, so methodically in the last game, I think they actually need a bit more burst opening in this game.
I don't know. I love Twitch late game. I think I'm just going to fully invest. I'm going all in.
Okay.
I'm like, Twitch with range late game just feels so... Oh, wait a second.
Yeah, Lehens walking down here underneath the tier 1 turret, but the teleport will arrive. Keen level 2 here on the Aurora, but man, Keen is in some trouble. He flashes away, tries to use the weirding to keep himself alive. Delight.
Don't even get the kill from Delight.
Teleport will arrive. Keen level 2 here on the Aurora, but man, Keen is in some trouble. He flashes away, tries to use the weirding to keep himself alive. Delight survives the damage.
I like how Delight has the Gen G First Blood emote.
Here in the early game, they're about to make it 2. Peanut at least dies to the turret, so there's 1 traded back, but the play goes positive for HLE.
Keen used TP as well.
The advantage of Hanwha. This is such a squishy team from Gen G, even on the rotation down. Yes,
Gen G has been playing very squishy team comps. None of these comps have had actual tanks in them, really, outside of supports.
My real big question after this is, what is Peanut going to do now? Because he actually goes down here, and since they did do their own side clear first, Canyon has a bunch of camps.
Peanut is a dangerous unemployed jungler right now. He's going to be way behind in levels.
To juggle the tower aggro.
Yeah, Kobe's asking the right questions.
That they give up number 2. Lehens is able to lock up Mr. Peanut under tower, and since he has Ignite late,
I don't know if those kills were actually worth it.
See what's done with the jungle camps. Yeah,
because
what I'm expecting.
This is bad. Oh no!
First, and then went for the dive immediately. Canyon got to cross over. And
Peanut is a very dangerous unemployed jungler right now.
And especially with a Nocturne, that can cause, again, your whole team to have to pay that price. So while you do get the dive off, and the first kill was without...
He literally has nothing.
The second kill, plus it actually gave over some jungle advantages there. Gen G, like, it's not all bad.
Yeah, I think Canyon is the big...
I mean, the thing about Peanut is he's actually probably... Not probably. He is one of the best low-economy junglers in the world. But this is really rough.
For Gen G in the spot side matches is you're playing against the Renata. She's not exactly a heavy engaged champ that can look to just hard in on towards a fight, as maybe Lehens actually looking for one. But I think you're in an okay position to just continue to farm his pays with that lack of engaged support.
Nice little bit of a combo damage there between Delight and Viper's piercing arrow. That serrated dirt can lead to such an annoying trading pattern in the lane because it's just so easy for him to come out on top. As Doran just doing a little bit of proxy farming, Keen needs to stay underneath the turret, farm up this big wave. Still a nice gold lead for HLE after the dive there in the bottom lane. Chovy versus Zeka back in the mid lane. Zeka is hitting that first break point on the stacking already so far. First TP, so one.
Both Delight and Viper down there for HLE, it really does seem like, well, even though they're actually getting the push, Lehens is already halfway up the river.
Yeah,
so
diving Leona was a mistake. Aurora was enough. Yeah, you don't really get anything from diving Leona.
Yeah, which way Lehens?
You know what I mean?
It
like doesn't really matter if Leona lives there or not, but it did actually probably really matter that Peanut stays alive there.
Smite ready, so could get his level 6 immediately.
Yup. And there it is, Canyon.
Yeah, he's a full level behind.
I I just love what they did there. You know, Lehen's hovering in the river, in the fog of war, as the wave is slowly pushing into them. They're not really concerned about it. Canyon finishes up the Krugs, goes right over to those grubs. They finish it off, and that's how you really, even though the dive bottom did cost some extra gold, you leverage experience in this game, and his experience early on to just be more impactful than gold a lot of the time.
I mean, when you think about it, a champion leveling up gets, what, 300 to 400 gold in stats? Just having the extra level, boom, you're making up for that difference in gold as long as that champion's involved in the scrap.
I feel like especially for junglers, too, and junglers like Nocturne that can then affect the rest of the map. So we'll see what he does with his first ultimate. Mr. Canyon clearing down his bottom side.
And here's the time where you can actually turn this around if you're Gen G. Like, the punish is delayed, but this is the punish for the dive right here. Not only do you get the grubs, but you're gonna get at least one kill here. You get all sums, all flashes bot side plus cleanse.
It's too good for Gen G, who tie up the game 2-2.
Dude, when your jungler is ahead, oh, it feels good. Canyon's there first. Canyon's able to close the distance with his ultimate, and even though Peanut arrives late, that's just level 5 Sejuani. Great. Not really concerned, and so they get the early jump onto Viper, even with the flash, even with the cleanse. Successful move for Gen G, and Canyon able to really leverage. So they
But also, I mean, you know, they probably shouldn't be this far forward. You know, Nocturne hit 6 because he hit, you know, Peanut watched him hit it on grubs. So you should absolutely know that this is like coming into the bot side, and they just have no coverage.
Level 1 Paranoia, not the longest range.
He also flashes after he gets tagged by Leona E, so that just seals his fate, basically. He probably doesn't die if Viper actually flashes before he gets the E hit.
The piercing arrow is not enough. Peanut
I'm excited to see this Twitch and how they use it in some of these, in some mid-game fights, though.
From the hands, the flash Zenith Blade catches out Viper and sets him up, gets the stun as well. And Viper could have tried to use the cleanse there, but instead believed in the handshake going through, and then I think he just couldn't quite get away after that second stun came through from the hands. And as you say, I mean, level 5 Sejuani's going to do nothing in this situation.
Dude, how sick of a move is Zenith Blade? Still get to go with him with his flash. So he got to go his flash distance plus the Zenith. I'm coming too. All right, well, Canyon continues for them.
and Delight try to
First Drake kind of late, but still gonna get it. Nocturnal up again, so they can make a play here at Grubs, potentially.
It's a good first item.
Yeah, this seems like a pretty solid item. If it synergizes with your champion, I feel like that champion's doing pretty good.
Okay, Lehen's also has just been everywhere on the map in this series.
So the second set of the Void Grub spawns. Gen G only needs to take a
good rotation timing.
The Void Might spawns, but of course, if you can get all 6, it just feels fantastic.
TP's down in bot side. Gnar gonna hit mini right as Grub spawn. Unlucky.
Sending more troops real soon with Pays farming up underneath the tier 1, as you do have lane control up there for the combo of Delight and Viper. Down in bottom lane, Chovy versus Doran really shouldn't turn into a whole lot, I wouldn't think. Both of these two have.
All right, here we go. Is this the first big Twitch ult?
Out here in the top side. It's a 4-man move from HLE. They're going to be the first to commit here to this river. Canyon can steal away even a single grub. That's all they need. He flies into the middle of everybody. The solar flare coming down over the top.
Here we go.
Already dead. A nice hostile takeover fired back in, but Viper now dies as Pays takes him out.
Chovy's here now.
And Peanut has to flash back over the wall. Chovy has finally joined, and Doran has to try to get away, but a double kill back over to the Twitch. He is hiding no longer.
2 for 2, but you lose control of the grubs and now give up 6.
HLE, but a nice hostile to commit here to this river. Canyon can steal away even a single grub. That's all they need. He flies into the middle of everybody. The solar flare coming down over the top. But Canyon.
It's so nasty, that Aurora.
A nice hostile takeover fired back in, but Viper now
it's not like a perfect combo, but you see the theory behind this composition.
Flash back over the wall. Chovy has finally joined, and Doran has to try to get away, but a double kill back over to the Twitch. Good for Gen G.
It looks so good to start off with from Hanwha. Delight, a terrific ultimate across the team, buying that space for Viper, and even with the teleport quicker from Doran, it nearly went their way, but Gen G, they outplay on the fight, and it's a double kill for the Twitch.
Twitch, Pays, getting so rich off this play, and the reason it looks good at the beginning is because they also started before Pays is even there, a couple of seconds. So that means Canyon down already.
Just a
And as you
Pays
say,
free
Renato
firing.
going over the other two, but once Pays
Takes
does
him
arrive,
so
he just
peanut so long
burns
to get
back
the
line.
frostbite stun off, and then it's just
Everyone's
cleansed.
trying to get away. He was able to grab that red buff.
Chovy
And
also
continually
recalled
double
and
burn
came
it
back
down.
with full
That plus
HP.
the poison, and now you are in a situation where you have
Chase down too strong.
Fight. I'm about to go mini now. I haven't got that 3-0. I wanted to see this game blow open early, and GG have done exactly that by getting this Twitch so far ahead.
Okay, so
It's funny because again, it's a very small gold lead for Gen G, but it's like 6 grubs, Drake, the kills on Twitch. It just feels so doomed.
That's what I want to see.
I do.
Okay.
I'm taking that Drake every day of the week. That is mine. I'm going to keep stacking because then you think
like a true jungler.
you think of even
Meganar for Doran that Kobe's talking about, you want to use to bait them into these open fights. First turret dropping at the same time. You can see the information on the plates by grabbing the first turret 30 seconds before HLE can respond in the top lane with Zeka's Smolder, and now the second Drake goes the way of Gen G as well with the gold. He's going to need to hit that
as well. HLE, again, we mentioned it last rise, and this summer has the boards like warding
hard, and he needs with Keen, but now with Hanwha opening up on mid with this Rift Herald, everyone in Gen G is coming across, even Pays.
Oh, Glacial Prison not going to find a whole lot. You can see they threw it out. They wanted to see if they could catch Pays by surprise there because the mom summoned up too, but considering it just barely misses, there's not a whole lot of punish, and that's 2 big spells down for
play for these picks on towards the without being under any sort of duress.
And I think there was a lot of pressure on Peanut's shoulder to be the difference maker in this game. You know, frontline for HLE, they have the possibilities to completely disrupt the Gen G game plan. Him and Doran, especially when both of them have their flash, some sort of like flank route or something, they go so deep.
Care watching for his next Drake.
And their dragon priority alive and keep that threat building.
Okay,
It's
so
just the
Gen G
pressure
might have
every
dragon
single
priority
game,
in
man.
the traditional sense that we think of those words. But Zeka and the rest of HLE's dragon priority is on these last 30 stacks that they need. He is getting so close, talking about earlier, with this
For Hanwha to like scale or they managed to get this day, but it does mean that you have to fight them and you have to come at them. And for Gen G, I think you're pretty happy with that because look at this Smolder, the second item not even completed. We should have it on reset, but it's also a build that comes on much later because you haven't gone for that Triforce to try and hit that break point in the mid game.
And pay vision even more because you can just be so far out.
Look at
of
these
reach of
wards
opponents.
from Gen G. They like push out bot side, deal half the damage to the bot tier 2, get in deep wards, control absolutely everything.
Way ahead of time.
Hanwha has to TP into mid lane because they're afraid. They push very far forward.
Looking to fight back. Oh, get yourself a tankier member on the front line.
Keen already on the move over without using TP, trying to preserve a TP advantage.
wants to make sure he can get that chance to open up. Keen will be the last one to join the rest of Gen
Mega
G
is
here on the
fading
bot side
from
river.
Gnar and bot side.
The Gnar separated from the rest of the team. Doran's about to transform back.
Oh, the timing on that mini. Oh, Peanut missed another Sigil.
There's the handshake with Mom over the top, and Zeka gets the first kill. They're trying to go between worlds. Kanan's in the front of everybody, and Pays is free firing. The kills start coming in for both sides.
Just there's no threat on Pays at any time. Even though Zeka actually hits the 225 stacks in that team fight, there's no pressure on Twitch or Ari. I mean, look at this. Keen uses the Aurora ult, bounces out that side to return to this side. There's the Nocturne ult going in. Chovy untouched, Pays untouched. He has Runins now, so he's just destroying everybody from the flank. God, that Twitch. Good draft.
Triple for Chovy, and Peanut's the last man standing. Chovy cleans him up.
Gen G waking is down, as you say, eroding 2 turrets afterwards. It's insane how much they get off this. But Pays, I want to highlight around the top, flanks on the Twitch. So even though Lehens is down, as you say, Aurora
God, the damage.
up, and Pays opens up from the top side, out of vision of the enemy team.
They wasted everything to kill Leona.
Chovy just going free and rampant here on the Ari, chases them all down, gets the last
Peanut Flash
little bit
still
of the kill
dies
here
too.
for the Quadra on his Ari, reset after reset.
It's a moment where you can fight back when it was supposed to be yours, and Hanwha came out and snuck it.
You know, Canyon being a little bit frisky with the mid lane here.
Now they try to flash out to survive the glacial prison. Pays is firing into everybody.
Well, I killed him, but
Zeka kills him. Gen G has over away now. They try to flash out to survive corruption since that's already down, and Chovy already had to use the ulti to escape it. He feels fine trying to scrap with the rest of the cooldowns as Canyon and Lehens have to try to get away now. They try to
why are we turning back around here?
Pays is firing into everybody.
Good play by Dolan.
Gen G has overextended.
He gets the Gnar ult down to actually get the kill, but they can't keep up because Chovy would kill them all. They can't get anything off of it. The kill is kind of meaningless. Pays holding flash. Yeah, he does have to flash that. He does have to flash that. True.
As Canyon and Lehens have to try to get away now. They try to flash out to survive the glacial prison.
That is very greedy. He has to flash that. Come on, Pays.
Zeka kills him. Gen G has overextended, and they are punished for it.
Doran, huge with the Gnar there. He's not going to let that happen again. To go straight for Pays, knocks him in. They get two. Keen down, Pays down. Hanwha Life not going to go out without a fight. Doran, huge.
Pays is firing. Already had to use the ulti to escape it. He feels fine trying to scrap with the rest of the cooldowns as Canyon and Lehens have to try to get away now. They try to flash out to survive the glacial prison. Pays is firing into everybody, but
happen again to go straight for Pays, knocks him in. They get two. Keen
the Baron, but blinking help,
and they close.
A little bit overconfident here.
He wants to open up. He sees all these abilities used. He's like, "There's no Sejuani ultimate." And boom, Keem comes in, but Doran says, "Not on my watch." And they instantly shut them both down.
Doran just saved the game, though.
Like you're saying, a couple more autos, boom, the whole team is just destroyed right there. So again, the instant turn.
Chovy also wasn't there. It doesn't change anything, though. They can continue. Gen G can run that team fight back over and over and over again. And Doran won't be able to do that again without Flash. And probably Pays won't let him because Pays has Flash, so it's still doomed.
Of course, as you guys keep on mentioning, that possibility of Smolder continuing to stack up.
I don't think that matters. I think Smolder dies in every fight. He also can't side lane because of this.
His target here with Zeka Smolder. Mom summoned. Maybe it would have been enough to save him just from Nocturne, but not from the backup too. Keen will be the one to take the kill as Pays also provides.
Stops the stacking for now as well.
Do you think Varus is a fake ADC pick? Kind of, but all the ADCs were banned this game.
Because there is so much
like Ezreal, Kai'Sa, like everything was banned. So you have to go somewhere at a certain point in time.
Anywhere, you really have to have towers to help defend and control wards to help defend your movements. So anybody that's out like that on a side lane, that's a very repeatable thing we just saw. And that's why we keep hyping up this Gen G map play available with this comp.
And when Zeka gets 360 no-scope 30 seconds before Dragon's out, he needs to TP back out onto the map because otherwise Gen G just get to pull the trigger once more. 8 seconds until Canyon's here. Zeka not out on the map. Even Doran's resetting. He just went mega too, so needed to clear out the way, but it means that coming into this, Hanwha have to buy time before this Gnar can have an impact. No flash available as well.
But it's so scary since Pays can always be anywhere, everywhere, all at once. Not a good place to have to try to defend against. Canyon getting caught initially there by the glacial prison. Loses about half HP, but
I don't think it matters at all if you
all the way back.
Dump cooldowns into Canyon.
To buy time though for Doran to get that Gnar.
Because all he's there to do is ult and provide cover for Pays and Chovy.
Between all these members of Gen G.
Yeah, Lehens wanted to go in there with a Zenith Blade, but he ain't gonna find the angle. Doran ready to transform. Gnar bar charged. Gets charmed though. Snot Bubble hits Lehens. There goes Mom. A little bit more damage might do it, and Viper grabs the kill. The Drake also secured by HLE. Beautiful start of the fight so far as Chovy can't get anything else done. No charges left.
They get the dragon. They deny a dragon so
easy to go into. It makes it difficult for Gen G.
Who's out.
Zeka approaching 3
very quickly with every skill shot that's going to land on you, every little bit.
So annoying how frequently this Nocturne ult is up.
To go for.
Zeka approaching 300 stacks here, gets away from the charm, but pays.
Whoops. I mean, this is the issue, though, right? Like, look at this. There's so many different ways to use the Twitch. So Twitch goes invis. Twitch finds Viper, right? Twitch finds Viper, clears his shield, and then he provides vision for Canyon to ult. And it's just over.
But Pays is already opened up on Viper. Now you got to be careful because Delight is about to die too. And Doran's caught between worlds. Chovy and Canyon ready to follow up as the Gnar can't transform in time. Flashing away with a Sterix gauge active. Throws a boulder right back to him. Peanut still looking for maybe an angle as Mom comes in, but Chovy's going to be protected by the shield. HLE lose their AD carry, but nothing more.
Hama protecting Doran there was crucial because that would have been Gen G turnover to Baron. May still look for it as a TP comes back in.
Yup.
Zeka needs to teleport back into this equation to make things more even for Hanwha.
The teleport seals the deal. Baron's the target. Gen G already got it down to about half. Doran here on the front line. Baron at 6k HP. HLE piling in. Lehens tries to get away.
Charm on the Peanut.
Half HP now as Peanut has to fully escape. Arctic Assault backwards.
It's
Baron
so low.
still aggroed at 3,000. Doran still trying to transform. He needs to go into Mega Gnar. Peanut's behind the wall into the
Oh, close.
by Canyon. Now HLE trapped between a wall and an enemy team. Canyon gets the kill on Doran. And Chovy goes over looking for a little bit more. They want to kill the Smolder, and Zeka pops. They all drop.
Well, that's it.
Looks like the hopes are done, dead and gone.
Two on the please tell me I'm seeing this correctly. We did come out on top. But yes, Gen G so sick as well because gets him out of the pit. Went for Doran. I like that. They're
for making this as close as they have. Challenge, even though it's only by one, but it's still first place. He's doing great.
And that's the thing, we focused a lot on like Canyon and Chovy in that fight, but it was Pays who assassinated Viper, who got him caught out with Canyon to start off that play that set this whole just lurking in.
All right, can they close it though here?
That's your big anti-engage mechanism. That's your chance to try to turn it around if Gen G jump on you, and he's out of the beard.
Yeah, you're talking about nails in the coffin. They've got the nail gun out, and they're just spamming nail after nail after nail. Yep, that's gonna be
new Twitch coming in soon.
His own
God, now they have the Infernal Soul on this Twitch as well. Twitch is honestly a mega pick here. What a great pick.
He's hitting everybody. He flashes, he cleanses, and he ends everybody on HLE. Exactly like we said. Pays off right now. They're ahead 8,000 gold. They've got an Infernal Soul. That's a mega buff on its own. As now the Glacial Prison immediately finds Chovy.
Oh no, they used everything on Chovy and he just
teleport, but the
arm guarded. Is just free for Twitch. Oh my god.
And he ends everybody on HLE. Exactly like we said. Pays on the Twitch. He came into the game with 100%.
It's alright, Doran's here, guys.
He's gonna leave the game with 100% win rate.
Good flash from Doran.
Gen G is gonna show HLE that the finals are not the rule, but they are the exception. This squad has controlled the Korean League of Legends scene for.
All right, so tomorrow, top over Fnatic, BLG over T1, Fly over PSG, I hope. Although it would be kind of funny for Fly to lose. I hope G2 beats Weibo. Come on, man. The West has got to take out one of these Chinese, like, lower seeds. Let's go. Let's go. Like, it's shameful that FlyQuest lost to D+. Come on, FlyQuest. You got to beat D+. How did Gen G lose to this HLE in the finals? Well, first off, different meta. Second off, they almost won 3-0. It should have been a 3-0 for Gen G in those finals. These FlyQuest draws are insane. Yeah, GAM D plus PSG. These guys are real lucker dogs. All right, guys, we will be reviewing those games tomorrow. So I'll be back tomorrow for more VOD reviews. Also, Summoning Insight is tomorrow. No, it's Tuesday. Just kidding. Just kidding. It'll be after we do the VOD reviews of MDK, GAM, and Pain Gaming TL. So I will see you guys tomorrow.